defending the voiceless, the wrongly accused, facing a foe whose motives are abused. In the courtroom battlefield, they'll stand tall, unveiling corruption, they'll conquer it all. Against the corrupt prosecutors' wrath, words like weapons cutting like a path, challenging the system that's filled with lies, seeking truth with justice in their eyes.
Hey, yo, folks. And of course, I always forget to close this door. Hey, yo. And oh, what a day it was yesterday. What a day of complete clustercluck. And Channel's motto came true yesterday. You can't un-F a cluster F. And sadly, Judge Whittaker chose to not call for a mistrial. And I've said this on a number of occasions. I don't think this trial will have a mistrial with prejudice. I think that this judge, as it seems like every other judge in Georgia, is adamant of handing it over to the jury and then punt it to the appeals court. But geez, at what point is enough, Judge Whittaker? At what point? Yesterday should have been it. She lied to your face, Judge Whittaker. Ms. Love lied to your face. And she will do it again, because she has done it before. So we are waiting for day 139 to start, and today, former investigator Gathier. And last time she was on the stand, she got offended by the word plural, because she did not know what it meant. I know Detective Thorpe is squirrel brain, but when it comes to pure incompetence, investigator Detective Gathier way ahead that pack. And last time she was on the stand, well, all of her reports are missing, of course, but it also came to light that she left Atlanta PD after 19 years, a year before full pension. Why would you do that? Then she got a job at a neighboring county's district attorney's office as an investigator and left after a few months. And me, for you who know, I do labor law. And for me, this is obvious that she got the option either you leave or you're fired. And that happened in Atlanta and in the neighboring county. Now she has worked for some sports team. And yeah, I understand why she doesn't want her face shown. Because if you wonder about where does this I still haven't gotten the drapes up for the window. So I think you can survive. So yeah, today will be really interesting to see. Well, she's on the stand to present the interview with Mr. Zachary. So I assume Ms. Love will take all day, unless the defense is successful in getting most of that interview out. But we left off yesterday, your time, with the final of yesterday. So we will play that until today starts up. Hold on. Boom. All right. So let's get on with yesterday. I will play it in 1.5 speed until today starts. Sadly, subtitles, closed captions isn't available on this replay from yesterday on Law and Seaward.
Yeah, I'm really thinking it's 4:35 right now. Can you go ahead and let the jury go for the day? We'll see them at 9. We can just discuss some evidentiary issues for the rest of this day. Okay, that's fine. A couple of them might need to get their things. I don't know if you want to just grab their blankets and things.
No, yeah, that's what time we'll start.
We will be starting at 8:45. Can't somebody else do that? Because I'm waiting for Mr. Steele to get the reference, so I think you need to be here for that. Somebody else can go say that. But the witness needs to be here at 9. What is it, Mr. Steele?
I believe it's on transcript page 149 of 275, line 16, and it's a lot of unintelligible. This transcript is not
Yeah.
good, it's unintelligible.
Yeah, it's not.
When I looked through it, it says, I told Buzz and stop messing with everybody. He might find no guns for no crime. So I know it doesn't sound bad, but I believe that later they say that he bought a gun for jail. And that's all I'm looking for.
Later, there's.
And if it's not there, Your Honor, then that's the only reference.
Any response on that? I mean, I don't recall that witness being asked anything about that, but it's not really saying anything anyways, is what Mr. Zachary's saying.
Yes.
Judge, I know that the line 19 is out, and I just asked that the court allow us to play it up. What I have is that he said, I'm looking at it. I know that I disagree with with Mr. Steele about it, this particular sentence needing to be put on him. He said everything he said about each person in this courtroom is not true. And so this is not one of the redactions that were previously ordered. I think
Hang on.
it's admissible, and I'd ask that we be allowed to play up until line 18.
So that's not Zachary saying anything about Mr. Williams, right? It's just him saying, here's what I said to Mr. Williams?
No, it is that Mr. Williams didn't have any buying guns to commit a
Hang on.
crime. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Williams did not buy a gun to commit a crime. That's what it says. It's exculpatory, I understand, but it was not asked about, is what I'm saying. So it's not an inconsistent statement.
Read.
Well, in the beginning of each month, I get 10 memberships I can gift myself. Those are free. And I chose today to give the first 5 because it's October 1st. And it got to Squirrel Blaine, Steph JK, Scottish Cat, Lori Loves Montana, and American River Notary. So we are well on the way. And so now you have all access to all my members only content, you have members only emojis, and you have access to my Discord. I will put up a new link to Discord because I think the old one has expired. And that there. Hello, Patty. Work today. I was done at lunch today, so I could get here because I didn't want to miss when former Detective Gathier takes the stand. If she is equally as moronic as she was last time, then this will be... The attitude Miss Gathier had during cross-examination was appalling, and I hope she continues that. but we don't know how long direct examination will take today.
The entirety of what you think it says for me.
What was the number again? Did I?
Oh my gosh.
What was the page up right now?
Okay. I don't know why they keep opening that door, but it's closed now. I think you said that you thought it said, I told Thug, stop messing with everybody, like, don't buy no guns for no crime.
No.
Okay.
That's not what it says.
What does it say?
My page that I lost. Does anyone remember the page I,
Bless you.
2 days? Is she expected to be on the stand for 2 days? Oh,
Your Honor, it's what he says, according to the audio. It's Mr. Zachary. I have 149 again, and it's Detective Dennis saying, so they just got sticks on deck, meaning guns?
Right.
No, where are they getting them from? Thug got a check, so it's not, put a date on this and it's unintelligible. Then the next person says Thug, Mr. Zachary says Thug, and then Mr. Zachary said, I told Thug had to stop messing with everybody. He, like, buy no guns for no crime. That's what it is. Then the next line is out because it's about this illegal search of Mr.
Right.
Williams' home.
All right. I mean, I think given my ruling, when Miss Love was doing the examination, and I told her to stop going line by line, that I'm going to permit that to come in. With regard to the rest of your specifics that y'all, the variety of you raised right before the break, where Mr. Zachary acknowledged saying something, but then said it was a lie. That does not prevent that from still coming in as a prior inconsistent statement under 613. And he's given an opportunity to explain or deny. He doesn't deny, he explains it by saying it's a lie. So the prior statement is still a prior inconsistent statement and can come in. So when we start with Detective Gathier in the morning, that'll be my ruling with regard to all of that, that it can all come in subject to the redactions that were already made under 613. Okay, so a couple of questions about, did we ever get Ms. Love, you were going to provide us with specific parts of that?
we are currently watching the last half hour of yesterday while we are waiting for court to start up today. And yeah, since the prosecution is either always late or they don't have the witness lined up, I'm not sure when it starts today. So we will listen to this until it starts up today.
Mr. Zachary's Twitter that you wanted in?
So I do have some, but since I didn't push with getting them introduced with Mr. Sprinkle this time, I instead.
Right, but we still want to know what they are, so
Oh, yes.
we'll know what needs to be dealt with.
Yes,
So can you tell us what they are?
yes. So it was page 32 of 259. What I'm going to do, Judge, is just scan them all. It's page
Okay.
32 of 259. Page 63 of 259. Page 64. 66. 74. 79. 81. 86, 87, 92, 12, 15, 142.
Hang on, 12, 15, what does that mean?
That's the page number 12, page number 15. I had,
Oh, so we're going back. So before 32, page 12? I'm just confused.
yes, it was.
Okay,
I
so
had
page 12.
just
And-
begun
All
now.
right, and then what?
Page 12, page 15, page 142, page 131, page 128, 129, 127, 126, 122, 119, 117, 100,
Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, John. Yeah, John doesn't like grays, and so he gifted 5 memberships to Mimi, Whitney Renee, Kira, KBL, and Silent Sniper. Congratulations. Now you also have access to all my members-only content and members-only emojis and Discord as soon as I get the new link up. And that Discord is for members only. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. And that brings us to 10 new members today. Thank you so much. Hi, Bria. Yeah, I'm here early.
Is that it?
No, you're not doing that. That's just page 3. And like I said, I was scan these in order. Page 109. 175. 192. 198.
Hi, Day Day. Good morning to you too. Good morning to you too.
220. 221. 240.
And Fun Size. Good morning.
At this time, that's what I have to present to the board. I asked the board to allow me to just scan any additional ones in it. One already chronological PDF.
A chronological would be wonderful. And then share that with everybody. And you now intend to introduce these the next time Mr. Sprinkle testifies,
Yes.
which will be how long from now?
Probably not this week, given the, not,
After we get back from our,
yes,
okay, after the non-jury days.
yes.
Okay. All right. Then that'll be yet another item for us to take up during our non-jury days. Okay, Mr. Steele, I have a question about your motion in limine number 61. In your paragraph 4, you raised the issue of text messages captured on the wiretap. Are there text messages captured on the wiretap?
There are line sheets. There are line sheets that write in proposed text messages, and I believe that that would be hearsay.
Line sheets that write in what?
So line sheets that the agents create, and they're doing the minimization, and then on that they have text message and they write what the text message is, but that would be hearsay.
Okay, I'm sorry, write that. There is a text message or the substance of a text?
Substance, the actual substance of a
Okay.
text message. And under the case I cited,
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the case you cited and it doesn't seem to have a holding on much of what,
best evidence rule.
I couldn't quite tell the purpose for which you were citing that. So you're basically making a best evidence
That's true.
objection to these. Okay, I was trying
That's
to
true.
sort out what your objection was. Okay. All right, so that'll be something that the state will need to address. But you know what the objection is now. All right, with regard to the rest of it,
Yeah, I can see that we have camera in today's trial, but nothing happens. So I'm keeping that monitored.
I mean, I've already made a ruling that the text messages through, it was just the Verizon person anyway, that they are sufficiently authenticated that you can certainly argue to the jury. And it's ultimately up to them anyway, but it's a prima facie case for authentication and that's been made. And it is not accurate that it's already been proven that those text messages are not verbatim. What the witnesses testified to was that they may or may not be verbatim, not whether they are or not. That it's possible that something might not be verbatim there. But anyway, with regard to authentication, they have been authenticated, so I'm not going to exclude them, and that'll just be an argument that you all can make to the jury. Okay. And then we'll circle back on the best evidence with regard to the wiretap texts. Okay. Your motion in limine 60.
Okay, we can, I think, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, we are live from today.
Can I look at it without sound on here?
And we are expecting Detective Gathier to take the stand this morning already.
Cue that up for me. All right, Ms. Love or Ms. Hilton, did y'all send the pages that we had discussed?
I did.
Okay, did you get those? Nope. Did you include the court?
Did no one?
Did anybody get them?
No, you won't.
Nobody got them.
Oh, of course, of course. The prosecution were ordered to hand over certain pages yesterday. And to nobody's surprise, they didn't. YSL dog.
All right, so I think we need to see what he.
Yeah, it only took one Brady to save Alec Baldwin. And yeah, I know. And that Brady violation were for things that wasn't even that important. In this trial, we have numerous Brady violations. And according to Judge Whitaker, well, you have it now, so it's no longer a Brady violation, which for me is astounding. Okay, sound is gone.
And
What time was it sent?
I sent it at 6:21 yesterday. Mr. Adams, Mr. Steele, Mr. Weinstein, Matthews.
Did anybody get an email called Your Scan?
I did.
Yes?
Yeah, I did. Oh, yes, I did get your scan.
Okay, well, that's it, apparently. Did we get one, Ms. Percifield?
What was the mail called? Instead of evidence number this and this, it's called what? Your skin? It probably went to spam.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I think it was supposed to be pages of the Twitter that she wanted.
I received your scan that had nothing but photographs, Instagram photographs. That appeared to me.
That was it.
Okay, I think it was Twitter, not Instagram, but,
Oh,
okay, all right. Well, we didn't get it. The court didn't get it, so can you resend to Ms. Percifield? And Mr. Sharp didn't get it. I mean, I don't know what happened sometime in the Ethernet between send and receive, but
No,
did
it
everybody
doesn't.
else get it?
I'm sitting.
no, Bruce, you're not on this. Bruce.
But she was ordered.
Mr. Harvey,
She was ordered to send over the handful of tweets she wanted to introduce, not Instagram pictures.
was,
He's not on this.
he's not even included.
I sent it from.
Judge Whitaker, enough is enough. Especially after yesterday. Especially after yesterday.
I didn't send it to the court, I sent it to Ms. Percival.
Yeah, no, I know, but she said she didn't get it.
I just sent it.
And here's the thing, even if she sent it to 5 of the six defendants, well, she didn't send it to the sixth. All right, out it goes. It's that easy, Your Honor. It is that easy. You have the discretion to do that. And sound's gone again. No, Jan, we don't want that kind of stories in the chat.
We need to address before we have our next witness in the jury this morning.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just want to keep the court apprised. I was in contact with Mr. Atkins last night, and we compared lists. We have a slight discrepancy on what's in or what's out based on the court's ruling about the transcript.
Okay.
We may have a discrepancy. Mr. Atkins is reviewing what I sent to him, and we'll report back. But I assume the state is not planning on playing it immediately. Is that?
Pretty immediately. Sounds like.
So there is a discrepancy between what the evidence that is in or out. And if there is at this point, in my opinion, if there is at this point a discrepancy, it should go into the defendant's favor.
So maybe we need to get that sorted.
Okay, Jan, that's funny, but I can't show it on screen. That's funny. If you're here on Replay Crew, I hope that the live commentary, the live chat is up and running, because you want to read that joke. All right, and now we are waiting for Detective Gathier. Again. It's 9 a.m. She should be outside that door just walking in right now. Where's Adams? I don't know. No, I don't mean. I know that live chat works now, but for Replay Crew, because when YouTube does this checking after live stream ends, it takes a while for the live chat, because that is turned off during their check of the stream. So that is why I said it. So we're waiting for Detective Gathier, who got offended by the word plural last time because she didn't know what it meant. It was during cross-examination by Mr. Shard.
Yeah, excuse me. During this,
I will try to find it
folks are
because it
looking.
was hilarious.
I just want to raise the issue of the request to not video Detective Gathier. I realized that in the past there was a request for the media to not video Gathier, Detective Gathier, and I didn't realize this before. I'm sure I objected to it before, but I don't understand the legitimate security concern regarding. I mean, maybe they can articulate a legitimate security concern regarding Detective Gathier, because she's all over media. I mean, she's a star of First 48. She gets an 8.4 rating, actually. So It's apparently a pretty good show that she's on. But I don't understand why she can be on commercial television and the
To raise a good
AJC
point.
and everywhere else and not be televised here.
I'll ask the state.
Your Honor, I think that, I know that this was dealt with previously. She is no longer in law enforcement. She's retired, and she, in her capacity at her current position, is not working as law enforcement, but is in a position that we believe warrants the protocol that was placed in place last time that she testified. There's
Can
no.
you share with me what that position is?
Sure, if the court will allow me to do it at the bench with whoever with defense wants to come up.
Okay,
so that
is
I'm not-
she on shows like First
No,
48?
She does not.
Has she been on shows like First 48 identified as by her name?
I have not seen her on First 48. I cannot speak to what Mr. Weinstein said. I have never seen her on First 48. But if he says he saw her, I don't think, and I don't believe that there is a reason, there's any reason to change what.
Well, we could just ask her.
And Your Honor, we could, but she's not. If she was or is on some episodes of First 48 that are playing now, she was in law enforcement. She had to have been during that time. I know.
Right. The point is, if her identity is out there anyway, readily available for anybody who wants to see it, identified as a law enforcement officer, then
May I
what?
approach?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I understand Gathier not wanting to be recognized because she still has some deniability with her current employer, which is a sports team. But yeah, I mean, apparently she's on TV shows, and she is caught on camera once in a while on her current capacity. I mean, the only reason, in my opinion, why a person should not be filmed is that they are currently undercover or has been working undercover with really dangerous people. And Miss Gathier sat at a desk at the gang unit. For you who don't know, Miss Gathier, the first 4 years, and this was during cross-examination, first 4 years in Atlanta PD, she refused to go on 911 calls for 4 years. And then she was department jumping, as apparently she was too useless to any department until she winded up in the gang unit, where apparently that is where you end up if nobody else wants you in the police department. And now this is really annoying. But she's been on shows. She is somewhat of a public figure at the moment at a sports team. She's caught on camera. Yeah. So just because somebody doesn't want to. But I understand her. She has some deniability because her testimony so far has been absolute dog shit. And that brings us, by the way, to sidebar counter 278. Hold on, I need to try to get that fixed with the sun glaring here. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got a message also on StreamYard that they lost my microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, Dave. We are not on break already. This is a sidebar. So let's see who, if Miss Love is. Managed to convince the judge why this more or less public figure should not be filmed. Remember, they forced victims of crimes to testify with a camera in their face. So why shouldn't a former cop do that? Hi, Jessica. Hello, April. Who else? Wendell. Yeah, send in Mr. Jingles to pluck Big Bird's feathers. Yep. Well, thank you, Casper, for pinning that. I'm pinning my PayPal link up there. For you who don't know, I am planning on returning to Atlanta during closing arguments. Now, if that occurs in April or September or 2025, I don't know. But if you want to sponsor and support me traveling back to Atlanta for closing arguments, that's the PayPal link. Now, of course, some of the revenue through my channel will also go to it, but the PayPal is exclusively for that. Dun, dun, dun. And for you who just joined, while we are waiting for the return of them, I made a new AI song.
Order remains in place.
Mr. Sharp is talking to Mr. Atkins about
Do we-
whatever.
Yeah, I know.
So they're trying to argue, we're trying to resolve it short of having.
We will listen to the song later.
The issues, there's only 3 that we disagree on,
Okay,
and we're trying to figure that out.
okay, that's fine. All right, well, I guess
Hi,
we
Aunt
can't
Jen.
really have the witness in to testify until those couple of things get figured out. So I am going to recess because I need to check on something.
And they are back on showing nothing. Okay, let's now play the Gathier song.
Detective Gathier, where'd you go? Lost your trail, don't you know? Your report's gone like the wind. Mystery, we can't resist. Gathier, Gathier, where you at? Hidden clues like a magician's hat. Wanna use him, then wallows cold. Catching shadows on the road. In the files, no trace found. Like whispers lost in a crowd. Paper trails gone to fade. In the dark, lost masquerade.
Yeah, I am having way too much fun with AI songwriting app Suno. And if they want to sponsor, go right ahead. I would love to be sponsored by Suno, but I do not have any sponsors so far. I'm too small of a channel for that. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, for you are completely new here. Yeah, I have. It's almost a fetish by now to do some AI songs. And back when or before at that what caused Glanville to get recused.
In the courthouse where time stood still, generations pass on the hill. Prosecutors come and go, defense attorneys putting on a show. Old district attorney thought she was tight, came in to visit her tonight. They said justice was blinded by her sins. As the trial spun, no one wins. Endless trial like a river flows. Truth and lies, nobody knows. Corruption split tight as it bites. In this endless trial, we pay the price.
Oh, yeah, I'm having way too much fun with that. Way too much fun with that. What else do I have here that we can? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I wonder. This is a clip from something I forgot what it is.
In the courtroom, it's a circus. Homie got the lions. Prosecutors crooked, messy and frying.
Okay, that's the intro for the panel show. Oh, this I'm especially proud of.
Adrian in the courthouse feeling fire. Every word she utters felt like a tire. Her arguments hit like a flat balloon. A new tornado in the courtroom knew. Her voice a chainsaw cutting through the air. But the logic's missing, nothing's really there. Whirling out of circles, losing grip. Every point she makes is just a slip. Another tornado spreading wide. All her arguments turn to hide. Courtroom laughter when she's done. Prosecutor Adrian ain't one.
Yeah, I agree, Young Commune, because we are fast approaching sidebar number 300. So yeah, Leonidas captioned this is sidebar. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. And thank you for your continuous support, John. Thank you so much. And Kristen is here, and Sloothy Goosey. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. We are currently waiting for something. I'm not apparently something's missing. If it is Miss Gathier or anyone else, I don't know. And the discussion was I at Waffle House last time when I was in the United States, and yes, I was. Let's see if I have it here somewhere. Let's see here. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Oop. So yeah, I had the breakfast at Waffle House. I had breakfast. And it was good. It was good. Really, really good. I also had, well, I ate, this was such a good place. Let's see if I can show you that. This was right outside of Chattanooga. Bailey's Barbecue, right outside of Chattanooga. Highly recommend. They had glorious food. Let's see. And I had this. Let's see here. I had this. Oh. And they are back at trial, from trial. Yay! Okay, let's get back to trial. Dun, dun, dun.
About some things.
Okay.
So, what did he say?
Yes, Ms. Love, what are we going to lie about now?
Mr. Shart and the state disagree on number 14, page 81, line 22 to 82, line 2. The portion that the court kept out was, yeah, I told him Shannon hot-headed. The line after that, we have that it is included and available for impeachment purposes. They all want names for themselves. They want names for themselves. And when I asked the witness on the stand, I was looking to go back to see all that I asked him, but I don't have that transcript in front of me. But he said, when I asked him, is everything that he said about the 3 people who are currently on trial, or why is it that everything you say about them, you can remember they didn't say, or you told a lie, but you can't remember anything else. That would allow what he is saying here to be an inconsistent statement about them wanting names for themselves. That is the one area that there's disagreement on. There were 2, so the other one is.
Your Honor,
Hang
can I
on,
respond
let's
to that
do one
one?
at a time.
The-
And so the state had that it could be used for impeachment.
Yes.
The state keeps taking the stance that as long as something was, and I'm not conceding that it was a prior inconsistent statement because I don't recall them asking that, but they seem to be taking the stance that as long as something's a prior inconsistent statement, it's automatically admissible. And this is speculation. It's speculating about my client's intent in doing something that he wasn't even there for. So that was the foundation, is did my client like say, hey, I did this and this is why? And that foundation was never laid. It's not a matter of prior inconsistent statement.
Right, yeah. And what you had was that it was out unless a foundation was laid.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Your Honor, that's, I'd ask that the court check the court's notes because there was.
So I can't find my notes, unfortunately. I don't have any idea where they went to.
Because our notes are specifically that it can be used for impeachment purposes. And the argument that his client wasn't there is belied by the witness's statement to the police that he was, which the court is requiring that we keep out because the court ruled that it has to be kept out. About, I don't know why he's saying his client wasn't there.
I didn't say my client wasn't there.
It's just what he just said.
No.
I said that.
No, that's not what he said.
He just said my client wasn't there. He
I
literally
said
just
Mr.
said
Zachary
my
wasn't
client
there.
wasn't there.
Okay, but that's not why it's being kept out.
I'm aware. You mean,
I mean, the ruling
was
would
that-
have been, I mean, it's the same thing as the similar one that we talked about yesterday. I would have said, lay a foundation that he actually knew that and it wasn't just his speculation.
Your Honor, this is someone who, during the course of this entire interview with the police, and certainly around this area, talked about his relationship with and how much time he spent with this defendant. I believe that as a member of YSL and as a person that we see throughout each of their social media pages,
That has nothing to do with it. At that point in time, was it speculation or can you show it? You mumbling about it, well, he's a part of the YSL, blah, 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 has absolutely nothing to do with the admissibility of that piece of information. If you can't lie and get a foundation, then it's out.
associating themselves with one another, not just Mr. Stillwell's, but Mr. Zachary's, that the jury can, the jury should be allowed to hear what Mr. Zachary's observations were. If he observes that they are acting in a way, and he hears them on some occasions say, let's go get that money.
All right,
To-
here's the thing, is that you didn't establish that this was based on his personal observation, or that he heard them say things like this, or that he had such a confidential, close relationship with Mr. Stillwell that they shared all of this kind of thing. You just didn't establish it.
Your Honor, that is because the witness would not acknowledge it. But the fact that he does,
Your Honor, I couldn't lay a foundation because the witness didn't answer, yeah, that is how you don't lay a foundation. You have to, in order for you to lay a foundation, you need evidence or testimony to it. Just because you didn't get testimony doesn't mean, oh, I just didn't, oh, for fuck's sake. This is so incredible.
having listened to his interview multiple times, he establishes it in the interview. And that is the reason that we are saying the jury should be allowed to hear all of what he said so that they can determine which version of the truth they believe, the one where he's sitting in front of the defendants saying, now everything I said about them is a lie, or the version where he gives intricate details about his interactions with the defendant and the way or what he observed during those interactions. There are moments where he said, Woody was curled up on the couch. He was scared to go.
Okay, but
You know,
we're not
that's just an
talking about his
example.
relationship with Woody right now.
I'm giving an example of his observations, the type of details that he gave in the interview. And so as it relates to defendant Stillwell, he's telling the police how many, when he interacts with them, what happens during the interaction. He's telling them.
Well, Dave, here's the issue. She can't impeach him with other evidence because Mr. Zachary is off the stand. He will not come back unless he's a defense witness. So whatever he said, that's what she has to work with. Apparently, she could, yeah.
When they started associating, they asked questions like,
Ms. Lev, I understand all of that. If it's just based on what's all in the interview, it seemed to me at the time, and nothing was established to convince me that this was anything more than his theorizing about what it was. And the rules of evidence are there for a reason. It's not that I want this in or I want this out. It's that it has not been established that he has a basis to say this beyond his own musings about it. And therefore, the ruling stands. What's the next one?
So,
What's the next one?
okay, so I'm sorry, that the first one was that it was, so it wasn't for impeachment purposes. It was something different. It's, okay.
It wasn't for impeachment, it was for something different. Okay, that is when you follow up with what that other thing was. And you don't, apparently.
So the second one was,
Oh. Yeah, I'm dumbfounded. It seems like Miss Love is so used to getting away with everything. And this judge, just at the moment at least, nah, she's not having it.
so the second one was the
I
call
won't.
that the court addressed either later last week or earlier last week regarding, it was in August that the court addressed the call about them putting Shannon, Pokey, Woody, and Mr. Zachary when they were at Big Boo's grandmother's house. And Boo got a call from Mushi, and $10,000 was put on the head of anybody who set out to harm Lucci. Mr. Zachary said that in his interview that Woody came in, it was stated there's $10,000 on the head.
Okay, is there a transcript reference?
It's line page 22. I'm sorry, page 109, line 25 to page 111, line 4. And the court, number 22, redaction request number 22. I don't know if the court's,
I don't
Nope.
seem to have the chart. If I could find the chart, then I would have my notes. But anyway,
our
recall-
chart says that it's in. I don't know what
show me what the chart looks like.
It was,
give it to us.
Just
they tried to revisit this
No,
yesterday.
we didn't.
show me what the chart looks like.
Go
Just
show
turn
me
it
the chart.
around and let me see it.
Mr. Atkins is coming up to the.
Oh, is this something y'all gave me before, or this is just your own chart
No,
of my?
we used it, and didn't we gave you a copy of it, and that's how we were referencing it in the arguments.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
Mr. Shard's redaction chart that he sent to the court in the state, that is the same list that when we went through the redactions in court, those 2 days or 2 days and a half.
Wasn't that?
And it was labeled from the 2015 interview 1 through, I believe, Mr. Shard's last redaction was 43.
I do have that.
And for reference, this is Mr. Shard's redaction request number 22.
And I think that Mr. Atkins went over all of this last week. Do we not?
Okay, and what I wrote next to 22 was only to Kenneth Copeland or Zachary, not Stillwell.
And that is, my understanding is that Mr. Shard is arguing that the call itself, the fact that there was the call and he's arguing that all of that came out, and we have that it is not out.
Yeah.
Well, the trick is, Your Honor, in this,
Can you try to use your mic?
in this transcript, in this passage, there are several references to we, that in the context, it's clear that Copeland is spilling the beans not only on himself, but on Shannon. So, for instance, I don't know if Your Honor has the
I
transcript.
do.
Okay, so for instance, 110, line 20. No, they said they did it. 111, line, where is it? There's a, 111, line 4. He like, man, we just shot up Lucci Mama's house. So there's things that in that spilling the beans by Copeland that in the context of this interview as it's played to the jury is going to implicate Shannon. I understand. Now I don't agree that this proves anything, but I understand the evidentiary rulings that Mr. Zachary at one time claimed he was in this room and he saw Shannon and Kenneth Copeland and they left and then they came back, and I understand a phone call came in. But what Kenneth Copeland said while they were in that room is hearsay that does not fit into an exception, and it implicates my client. So that's, of course, I would love if it just all came out. It would be cleaner, and also I'd prefer it. But if we definitely need to, as was your ruling from the beginning, we need to clean up what Woody said insofar as it implicates my client.
Well, do you have a proposal for how to do that?
Take out what Woody said.
Short of that? I mean, is there something in here that it's, there's a Stillwell reference that can be cleaned up? What was the number for that first one y'all were talking about?
Your Honor, the first one was number 14. And the state does have a proposal when the court's ready.
And while they are debating this Friday's panel show will have an Oktoberfest theme because it's early October, and in Germany now there are a lot of Oktoberfest going on. So this Friday panel show, Oktoberfest themed. I have forewarned the usual suspects I usually invite, and I might have a surprise guest for you. So yeah, that's for Friday.
What's your proposal?
So, Your Honor, there was 3 requested redactions that all pertain to the shooting of Mr. Bennett's mother's home. And so number 21, Mr. Shard's request, number 21, the court, as the court just stated.
Yeah, I'll just have to add on this. Usually, the prosecution are honest, morally and ethically put on themselves to redact things they know is in violation. But not these fuckers. Forkers, YouTube. I said forkers, like in fork or knife. That they don't need to litigate all of this. All of this is done before, so you get a smooth trial. But this prosecution want to litigate everything or force the defense to litigate everything.
permitted the state to address as long as it didn't pertain to defendant Stillwell. And so there, Zachary has a line when he's saying who committed this act, where he says Woody, Shannon, and Little Pokey. So the state is redacting where he says Shannon, so that later on when he references they or we, the jury will
Okay.
not hear that he definitively states Shannon.
Okay.
Well-
That ought to solve it.
Well, that doesn't solve, the problem is we'd have to redact, and I don't think the state's going to agree to this, but we'd have to redact Shannon from the whole story, because it's not just that Woody at one point says,
We did it, essentially, yeah.
it's not so much that Quindarius Zachary says, I mean, clearly I want that out, but also in Quindarius Zachary's telling of this story,
Mm-hmm.
Shannon is with Woody in the beginning, which he saw with his own eyes. I understand why that would come in, but what I'm saying is the references to Shannon are not limited to the conclusory statement.
Well, I mean, that's just going to be what it is.
Okay, so we're taking out the conclusory thing, but
I mean, the specific, naming of the people, because I had said that could only come in if it was established that Stillwell was there when Mr. Copeland said we did it, and that wasn't established.
So the court, with respect to Shannon, that is the ruling that we.
Right, so if you redact that word, then
Yes.
when later on, it doesn't sound like it's Shannon, it sounds like it's the two of them that he's already mentioned, so that fixes that.
But he can say, and we can get in the fact that Shannon, Woody told Shannon and Pokey, let's ride.
Yes.
Okay.
see, and that's my problem, Your Honor. I think that they inescapably refers to Shannon in the mind of the jurors, even if we take out the one conclusory
Okay,
line.
well, I mean, that may be what you think, but that's the way we're going to handle it.
Okay, I
What's the
understand.
next
And just for the record, Your Honor, it is the lines that I'm concerned about on the transcript are 111, line 4, where it says, he like man, we just shot up Lucci's mama's house, and page 10, line 20, where it says, no, they said they did it.
Okay, well, I don't agree that it still sounds like Shannon when
Okay, I
only certain people were named and he's not one of them.
I understand the court's ruling.
Okay, what's the next one?
I think that's the only two, but I just.
Oh, I thought y'all said there were 3.
Yeah, you shake his head.
Okay, all right.
So I need to make sure, I would like to make sure with the witness that those 2 areas are clearly understood. Or we bring her out here and something's said.
All right, and actually, for the number 14 that we were discussing before, my notes were that y'all had come to agreement about that.
Number 14.
The one the very first one that we took up.
We agreed on hot-headed. They all want names for themselves is the portion that we have noted the court allowed us to use for impeachment purposes. Yesterday, I asked the court to allow us to include the hot-headed. The court denied the request, so the only thing and I said that was something we previously agreed on, the hot-headed. And the court denied that request, but the rest of it, the court said that it could be used for impeachment purposes.
Okay, so my note on that, now that I have the notes, is that y'all had agreed, that I didn't make a ruling, that y'all had agreed that the character about Shannon was out except to show moving up because wanted to make names. So if y'all are no longer in agreement, then my ruling would be a foundation was not established. So I think we're ready for the witness and the jury.
I want to make sure.
All right. Here we go. Former detective.
All, of course,
Okay.
Judge, may I
Apparently
speak
not.
with- Since it is my witness, I just want to make certain that all of the court's rulings are understood and that I articulate them to her so that we don't get into, because I will be asking questions to avoid some of this. And I want to make certain that we don't get into any.
Okay. Let's, if you can do that fairly quickly, because we've had the jury waiting for 40 minutes already.
Skipping ahead. Skipping ahead.
Is the witness ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and get the witness in.
Yeah, and apparently not showing her.
We are waiting on both of Mr. Williams' attorneys. Have to tell them not to go to the bathroom at the same time. You can come on up to the stand.
We swearing?
Hmm?
Swearing?
You are.
I thought that's you want me to.
Well, she's already testified. You already have been testifying in this case. All right, I'll just, when the jury gets in, go ahead and have a seat for now. As we're waiting on one of the attorneys anyway, I'll just remind you that you've already been sworn.
The witness is former Detective Gathier, who is both a layman witness and an expert witness. Judge Glanville approved of her as an expert. And I said it before, I will say it again. Miss Gathier is an absolute moron. Probably the most incompetent cop
one
I've
of them
ever
back.
heard from in a trial setting.
Let's go ahead and get the jury.
All right, here we go. Jury on their way in, and we're going to hear, but not see, former Detective Gathier on the stand.
Isn't it? Stop it. Just let me in. And make it. All right, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your patience while we sorted out some evidentiary matters this morning. All right, so we have Detective Gathier on the stand now, and I'll just remind you, ma'am, that you are still under oath. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you, Your Honor, and welcome back, Sergeant Gathier. Sergeant Gathier, would you please tell the jury?
That's one thing if she's no longer a cop, don't address her as she was. I understand it in the military, but that is still a former lieutenant or whatever's. But addressing a person, the only people I approve of being called of their former title are world champions and presidents, not moron detectives, sergeants, whatevers.
whether during your investigation of events that happened in 2015 as they related to If Gang and YSL, you had an occasion to interview Quindarius Zachary on August the 5th, 2015.
Yes.
All right. And at the time that you interviewed him, did you call him to be interviewed, or did he or someone on his behalf reach out to you?
Yeah, there were a couple people on his behalf that reached.
Was any one of those a person you banged, Miss Gathier? You slept with? And was that who approached you?
Out to me,
Okay.
stating that he wanted to talk to me.
Okay. And I'm going to,
Yeah.
Microphone.
I'm going to give you one that might work a little bit better. Okay.
And this is so misleading.
And had you left your number with family members of his, as you have in other cases, if they wanted to reach out with you?
Yes.
Did
And
you
is that
sleep
the
with them
way
too?
that
Gathier?
that family member contacted you?
Yes.
All right. Was Quindarius Zachary brought over to the Atlanta Police Department from the Fulton County Jail?
Yes.
All right. Now, is it the custom that when a person comes in to see you, you make any observations about whether or not they're in any condition to talk? And by that, I mean, if someone's sloppy drunk, or if they're obviously under the influence, or...
Yes.
And if they are in no condition, by your estimation, to talk, do you continue to talk with them anyway, or do you send them back, or?
No, I don't talk to anyone that's under the influence or under distress or anything. We'll just revisit it at another time.
Okay. And when you spoke to Quindarius Zachary on August the 5th of 2015, did he appear to be in any physical distress from withdrawals or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did you see any sign that he was under the influence or in pain?
She's not an expert in this. No, I mean, Miss Gathier, in my opinion, says anything to avoid responsibility for her actions. And these are leading questions that are so clear manufactured in order to make her seem better. And I simply don't believe her. I really don't.
Or anything like that, that would have prohibited him from clearly understanding questions that were asked?
No.
Okay. At any time, did you force him to sit down and talk to you?
No, it's people were calling me nonstop for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I just kind of took my time and let them sit there a minute, and picked them up when I was ready.
Okay. And at any time outside of that interview room, did you convey threats? Did you tell anybody, if he doesn't speak to me, something bad is going to happen?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did you make any promises to him outside of that interview room through other people?
No.
Okay. And inside the interview room, did you tell him, let me back up. Are you allowed to tell people, if you do this, I will get your charges thrown out?
I'm not allowed to do that.
Huh.
And did you tell Quindarius
Did
Zachary
you do
that?
it?
No.
Now, to be clear, during the course of his conversation with you on August 5th, 2015, at some point, did he broach the subject of whether or not you all were going to be able to help him out with any of his charges?
He did.
Right. And did you tell him at that time that you were going to get him thrown out?
No, I did not.
All right. Your Honor, can we get access to the Zoom?
Unfortunately, I don't have access to the Zoom right now either, and I had just typed my team to let me in.
All right.
Maybe if somebody's listening up in my chambers, they could let Ms. Love and the court in, please. Normally, Ms. Percefield does that, but she had to step out and handle another matter. So
while they're doing that, I'll continue with the questions. When you spoke to Quindarius Zachary in August, Had you already gotten, you remember when you talked to the jury last time about the Dexter Montgomery shooting?
Yes.
All right. And do you remember speaking to them about the surveillance footage that you were able to look at from that shooting?
Yes.
All right. Now, during your interview with Mr. Zachary, did you show him surveillance footage from the Dexter Montgomery shooting?
I showed him still shots, not actual footage.
Okay. And when you say still shots, would you explain what you mean?
Basically screen grabs or images of people that were depicted in the actual video. We just took a picture of that particular person and printed it out onto paper.
Okay. I'm going to show you what I believe has already been admitted as states 308 Yankee. And I'm going to ask you, it was in here. Mhm.
Yeah. This is all her answers to Mr. Zachary's being in withdrawal or being high is simply one. She didn't care then, and now she answers falsely because she knows that is what she has to say.
Okay. If you recognize states 308 Yankee, and Your Honor, this does not have the sticker affixed to it. This is the exhibit that was labeled 308 Yankee.
Okay.
So I'm showing this to her, and
Okay.
I'll get the exhibit.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you showed this image to Mr. Zachary in the interview, okay. And for the record, it was 503 Yankee.
503. And it
And
was
it
that
has-
already admitted?
It was.
Okay. And I'm sorry, just like for housekeeping, are we going to get an exhibit sticker on it or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually the one that we admitted does have the exhibit sticker on it.
Oh, it's a copy of the, okay,
Yes.
no problem.
And so you spoke with Mr. Zachary. Did you have any reason to believe that he was at or anywhere around the Browns Mill Road area at the time that that image was captured on the surveillance footage?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Would you tell the jury what it was that you showed him that footage for? Why it was that you showed him that footage?
To help further that investigation, see if he can identify people that we had not previously identified involved in the Dexter Montgomery
She
shooting.
is so
Okay.
We knew that he was
she's so
affiliated
incredibly
with
coached with her
persons
answers.
that we were able to identify. So while we had him there, why not ask him?
Who was it that he was affiliated with that you were able to identify as being involved in that Dexter Montgomery shooting?
Walter Murphy.
Okay. What did you know about Mr. Zachary's affiliation or relationship with Walter Murphy?
We knew that both of them claimed to be YSL, so I assumed they knew each other.
Okay. And did Mr. Zachary confirm knowing Walter Murphy?
Yes, he did.
Did he call him Walter Murphy or did he use another name?
He called him DK.
All right. Yeah, it was in, yeah. Can you pull this? Don't share it. Yeah. It's just-
Here's an idea for Cross. Miss Gathier, as a security person for a traveling sports team, have you seen members of that sports team doing this and saying slime? Haha.
What's the number? Okay. I'm going to show you, and Your Honor, because it's a digital image, counsel for defense has been provided this, but I want them to see what I'm walking to the witness with. May I be permitted to show them what I'm showing the witness?
All right.
All right. Ms. Knight, that was 5. I'm going to show you what is 531 Yankee, a video on the screen. And I'm going to ask you, have you reviewed this video prior to coming in?
I have.
And is it a fair and accurate copy of the interview that you conducted with Quindarius Zachary on August 5th, 2015?
Yes.
Did you see any alterations or material changes?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, the state tender states 531 Yankee as evidence.
All right, that's admitted with, as we already discussed.
All right. Your Honor, I ask permission to publish.
You may.
And just for decorum's sake, I ask permission to seat myself while I publish it so
You
that I
may.
don't.
May
May
I
you what?
use this screen?
Is that one available?
It's up, actually. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And
If you
What do you use?
If you want to use earphones, they're here and available for you. It helps. Allows you to hear.
Oh, hooray. We are going to watch this. Lawrence Seaward, could you please show the screen of the interview? Oh, for frick's sake.
Well, as you know, you contacted us. You want to come down here and make a statement about these cases that we have. Y'all been getting on my darn nerves, calling me, so we're here. But even though you reached out to us wanting to talk, I still gotta advise you your rights, okay? Let's say yes, you gotta say yes, no. Just so you're fully aware of your rights. Spell your first and last name.
Quindarius Zachary, Q-U-I-N-D-A-R-R-U-S, Zachary, Z-A-C-H-A-R-Y.
What's your birthday?
8/21/93.
8/20.
21/93.
What's your address?
445 Cleveland Avenue.
And Your Honor,
Louis.
his address, not to the computer.
All right.
About to, they said I can move to, they came from
Because of that ankle monitor. What's the zip over there?
0354.
30354. How tall you are?
6'6".
Lawrence Seaward,
5'10".
stop jumping back
Yeah, how
and
much you weigh?
forth, Jesus.
5'6", 9".
Yeah, bro.
I'll try to find another stream. Just
Your eyeball, meaning the colored part is brown. What's the highest grade level you completed? Graduate. I know people graduated 8th grade. Did you graduate high grade? High school, 12th grade.
What else do you do?
I don't know, but I graduated current. What year? I think 09. Something like that. You got a phone number? I'm on them, 445.
seems like all are using the same
Just for the
pool.
record, the state also muted the phone number of his mother.
Oh, really? That was important now? You've been spilling phone numbers throughout this trial, but that one is all of a sudden important? Now, I think it's good. But Jesus Christ, during, what was it, 2 days ago or 5 days or whatever it was, you showed completely innocent people's phone numbers in that phone records guy from the phone company. But now it's important.
Zach, that's who live at Cleveland. Alright. Let's go over this Miranda form. What's your middle initial? Yeah, T. What that stand for? Tashana. T-Y-S-H-O-N. Basically states Aquindary Zachary has been informed by the undersigned law enforcement officers prior to being questioned by them that I am suspected of the offense of aggravated assault, which is what you charged with for the two drive-bys in Fulton County, state of Georgia, on the 28th day of April 2015. That's the date that the incident happened, April 28th, 2015, okay? I'm gonna go through these one by one. If it's something that you don't understand, stop me, let me know I don't understand, and we're gonna go over it, okay? Yeah. Your first right is that you have a right to remain silent and not have to make any statements. Do you understand that? Yeah. That any statement that I make may be used against me in a court of law. Do you understand that? That I have the right to consult with my attorney and before making statements and to have said attorney present with me while I'm making the statement. You get that? That if I do not have enough money to employ an attorney, that I have the right to have one appointed to me by the courts to represent me and to consult with him before making any statements and have him present with me while I am making the statement. Do you get that? That if I request an attorney, no questions will be asked of me until my attorney is present to represent me. Do you understand that? Has anybody coerced you or forced you or threatened you to come down here and make a statement? You sure? No. No, you're not sure? I mean, I'm sure, but anybody forced me. Okay. Can you read it? Oh, okay. Can you read and write English? Yes. And I have had read to you. Today was the what?
5/2/6/17.
What's what? If you would, initial by each of those, and then if you still agree to talk to us, sign down at the X. rush to talk to you. So, go well.
I'm saying, say this, y'all want me to speak on first.
Let's talk about this, what you've been charged with. What do you have to say about the case?
I went there that night.
You wasn't where? What did you hear about it?
Where, someone came to the house waking me up to my DJ got jumped. I'm like, so? And then,
You was at the house in Cleveland?
yeah.
Apartment, address, you
Yeah,
said?
415. And then that's when she told me that she had got shot at too.
That same night?
Yeah, she said. They got in a whole bunch of shooting, and then like L Gang had pulled up at my cousin's house. Cause my cousin go with this boy named Tate. Y'all know him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Javante, yeah, I don't know his name, but she was going in the house. And she said that when they started shooting at the house, like they were shooting from the parking lot, she said.
Where is this house located at?
What you talking about? Landrum apartment.
Landrum and Zone 4?
On campus.
Off campus?
Yeah.
So who stayed over there again?
My cousin Liz, right? And Tate.
That's what Javante said?
Yeah.
She your blood cousin?
Yeah.
I mean, you know how people say?
Not my real cousin.
So this gang got to shoot at them at Landrum?
Yeah.
Is this before or after D got shot at? I mean, got jumped on?
She said it did happen last. It's after all the shooting.
So first D get jumped on, then the shootings happen.
I'll tell you like from how I heard, like when I heard her.
Okay.
I like shoot. Most of them call me or something in the morning to know that.
Mm-hmm.
But she like, most of them cutting D out because D tell them that he shooting, they had shoot them in the face and jump. Most of them told D that he had to find around home. And then that was she like, then that was D told, I would sleep. D told me that morning like they had shot up the house.
D told you that, say that you kind of skimmed over that part. When you say D, you talking about Demekion, right?
They real name.
You talking about Lil D from 30 D,
Yeah.
like Mechanicsville? Demekion.
Demekion told me that they had shot at the houses.
That who had shot at the houses?
Him, Tay,
Mm-hmm.
and who it was? Shannon. He just told me nothing. He said him, Tay, Shannon, and some other boy named Trey Dunn. Be with Tay.
Named Trey Dunn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He told you personally?
Yeah.
How did he tell you? Over the phone? In your face?
Yeah, he's over my house. I was sitting there like he told me that they had shot the house, he said, and then that they shot up Larry where Tay stayed.
So this gang came back and shot up Tay house?
Yeah, someone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess that was she was gonna go that night. And he said that when they went and Pierre home.
Mm-hmm.
That when they went and shot up Pierre home.
Who went up and shot up Pierre home?
Him, Tay, Shannon, and Trey Dunn. He told me them full name. He already said them like Montone. But I kind of feel Montone without a.
Why you figure that?
I think I ain't got no car.
How close are you Montone?
You know, my whole life. I told my dad my dad and him, they grew up here.
So you got a lot of loyalty to Montone?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ain't got nothing. I had some of them, but he ain't got nothing for me.
How you know he ain't got nothing for you?
Shoot. I ain't been talking to him like that.
Have you talked to him since you've been in jail?
Have I talked to him since I've been in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, since he's been in, because you went in first.
Yeah. So he told me that Demekion told y'all why he was scared, you tricked him.
Demekion sat in that exact same chair, and you're going to get the exact same treat that Demekion. I don't have to trick people or lie, because phone records tell you a lie.
Oh, man.
Right.
Man, it's my trick.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like you kind of getting off track, because we got your phone records too.
Alright? Let's have a phone record.
This is what we do. Remember when we locked you up the last time?
Yeah.
We went to the house and we ended up getting your phone number and stuff. And I got your phone right, because that was your phone number, right? No, that ain't my number. Okay. Well, like I said, we can stop this right now because it's going in the wrong direction. And I don't want to waste your time or mine. Because this shit don't matter to me. My shit is good. This is what's going to fuck y'all. So I got the Mikion. Because y'all, everybody thinking the Mikion snitching. This is the Mikion phone number, wasn't it? Yeah. I got the Mikion. I got yours. And wait, one more. And I got more. 622. 662, whatever. So I know reason why.
So the media ain't necessarily have to tell it. You know what I'm saying? Technology told them.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was impressed about coming to get you and coming to talk to none of y'all. Y'all want to talk to me? That's fine. This is the opportunity for y'all to say y'all said. But this is what's gonna fuck y'all. So I feel like once again you kind of going in the wrong direction. You say you're gonna come down here, be honest about shit. I'm being honest. You wasn't there. No. I'm from my window. So then we really ain't got much to talk about. This shit is on you. It ain't on me. See, I don't want to talk about other cases. You need to get over this first.
That's what you're in on.
Yeah, because I think you thinking that you can tell us about a whole bunch of other shit and then get some help on your shit, but you got to be honest about what you're here for. That's how that works. It don't just work like you tell me a whole bunch of shit and then we just forget about your stuff. You got to be honest with what you got going on.
Me, Monton, Shannon, Tay, Trayvon, and D.
Which car was you in? It was two cars, right?
I was in car Monton.
Which was which car?
And Papa.
What color?
Gray.
Who all was in the car with you?
Me, Monton, Shannon, and D.
And Trayvon and...
There was another Impala.
What color was that Impala?
Like, I heard the burgundy or something. SS.
Okay, the new one or old one?
Same year, Monton car, bro. Always, something like that.
Okay. How did you all know where they stayed?
Not Trayvon, Tay.
How does Tay know?
Cause he said he been beef with them before.
So he knew where they stayed over there on Mosley Park on the Dale. Address is 1428 Dale Avenue. Over there by Mosley Park, right? How did you even get involved in the mix? Because you wasn't at the club, were you? How did you even get involved?
When they shot at Summer.
So, where did they shoot at Summer at?
Atlanta.
So they shot at... Before, this is the same night?
Yeah. They shot at Summer on first.
Okay.
And they shot at, I think they did shoot at the club. I don't know about the club.
So Summer was at Landrum Arms with Alexis and Tay.
Yeah.
They were in which car? Or were they in
she went with Tay. She was with Lex. They haven't got that yet.
Okay. They in the car or they inside the car?
Yeah, they in the car.
They in the car?
Yeah, they in Summer car. They going in the house.
Okay.
And she said they started shooting, but they shooting from way, not parking lot, maybe. They shoot from way in her parking lot.
Did they make a police report?
I don't know.
You know, if anybody calls the police or anything, did the police show up out there?
I'm pausing it now at 2:26:51. I'm sorry, yes, 2:26:51. Sergeant Gator, as I turn this microphone back on.
Hey, little miss. Yes.
Now,
made you a mod because I missed you at the members only because once I because I made I boomed and so you weren't a member at that time. So when I transferred it over to a members only stream, you disappeared. So I made you a mod in hope that would get you to watch the rest of the members only. Let me know if it worked. For you who don't know, Little Miss is last year law school and watches my channel. Hey.
did you have an opportunity yesterday even to review and listen to this video recording of this interview that you did with Quindarius Zachary?
Yes.
And if you would lean in or bring that microphone a little bit closer to you, would you tell the jury who that is in the room with you and Mr. Zachary?
Detective Dennis.
All right. Now, as you listen to the interview, are you able to hear as clearly and as well as you were sitting face to face with Quindarius Zachary what it was that he was saying to you? Or were you? Did you understand that question?
I think I did. Yeah. I mean, he appeared.
Could you?
I appeared to understand what he was saying. It was clear.
And what I'm asking is, as you sat in the room with him on August the 5th of 2015, were you able to hear him clearer or more clearly than you are listening to him on the video?
Oh,
Yes.
they are going to ask her to narrate. They are going to ask her to narrate. That should never be allowed. Never. Never, never, never. If the piece of evidence is garbage video, then so be it. That infuriates me when prosecution are allowed to narrate what's going on. It shouldn't be allowed.
And having watched the video, are you able to recall and tell the jury if there are things that aren't as clear as we listen to it here today?
Some things, yes.
Okay. When you showed Quindarius Zachary a phone number, was that the phone number for his mother, or was that the phone number that you had for Quindarius Zachary himself?
That was a phone number that he utilized himself.
All right. And where had you gotten that phone number from?
His mother.
All right. Do you recall when it was or under what circumstances you got that phone number from his mother?
Yes.
Would you tell the jury about those?
I believe he was arrested early May for possession of a firearm. Shortly after that arrest, my team conducted a search warrant at his apartment off of Cleveland Avenue in hopes of recovering other firearms that he had recently purchased and other evidentiary things. And at that time, I believe he was in jail and his mother and some family members were in the apartment.
Okay.
And that's when I spoke with his mother, got his phone number, and also gave her my phone number and his girlfriend at the time my phone number.
Who was his girlfriend?
Summer.
Good?
Yeah, Summer Good.
All right. When Mr. Zachary, or you all asked Mr. Zachary, what is it that he wanted to talk to you all about? Did he say why he wanted you all to go first? Or did you hear him say, you go first, something to that effect?
Yeah, I think I asked him, what did he want to talk about? And from previous experiences, I know that when interviewing people, they want you to say what you know, and that way they can work their lives around what you already know, or get away from telling you the actual truth. So I leave it up to them to start it off, and he appeared to kind of be evasive and wanted to tell me about other shootings and incidents as opposed to what I wanted to know about the shootings from April 28th.
And when you told him that you wanted to talk to him about what he had been charged with, and he responded, I wasn't there that night.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? What did you accept that as fact, or did you ask him, well, what did you do? Your Honor, there is also context that she can give that she has said she was clearly able to hear and discern in the interview room more clearly than perhaps can be heard on the video.
Yes.
I don't know that it's been established that anybody's unable to hear it on the video. Sustained.
Okay.
Thank you,
So-
Your Honor.
When you asked him in the video, you weren't where, well, what do you hear about? Did you know, or did someone tell you before you had gotten into the interview room
Hearsay.
what it was that he wanted to talk to you about?
His family members said that he wanted to talk to me about his case and other stuff.
Sustained.
And Your Honor, it's explaining what she was expecting and
Hearsay.
why she responded the way that she responded.
Still
So,
hearsay.
Sustained.
yes, Your Honor. Now, when he began explaining to you that Summer had called him or had come waking him up saying that D had just got jumped, at that time, did you have any information about D or Demikion getting jumped on April the 28th?
Yes,
And where was it that he had gotten jumped based on the information you had?
at Club Crucial.
And that's what, 2517 Donnelly Hallowell?
Sound about
Somewhere.
right. Yes.
Leading.
At the time that Quindarius Zachary told you that she had gotten, or that Summer said that they had gotten into a whole bunch of shooting and that they had pulled up at his cousin's house, Alexis Bryant. Did you know the name Alexis Bryant?
I can't recall if I heard it or not.
At any point during the course of this investigation into these retaliatory shootings, did you hear the name or did you learn about an Alexis Bryant outside of the interview with Quindarius Zachary?
Yes.
What about Tay
Leading.
or Threat?
Yes.
What can you tell the jury about who that is, Tay or Threat?
I've been familiar with Tay or Trevante Turner for a while. He was a documented gang member. I believe he was MDC. Had several cases with involving him.
Okay.
Prior to this.
All right. And when you say Trevante and he says, I don't know his name, and goes on to name other people, are you familiar with those other people that he names as well?
I am.
When Quindarius Zachary tells you that Moontunk had been cussing D out, did you know who Moontunk was?
I did.
Who was Moontunk?
Antonio Sledge.
Before you heard Quindarius Zachary tell you or talk to you about Moontunk, did you know who Antonio Sledge was?
I did.
All right. And had you documented Moontunk or Antonio Sledge as being a member of any particular gang?
I did.
Which gang?
YSL.
All right. What about Demikion or D?
Let me just remind you, folks. Miss Gathier, after 19 years as a cop, probably got the options either you quit or you're fired. And she's still here on the stand, both as a layman witness and as a gang expert. Which is astounding that she is allowed anywhere near a courtroom.
Had you documented him as being a member of any particular gang?
Object. Hearsay confrontation clause.
Overruled.
Yes.
What gang had Demikion been documented as belonging to?
As initially 30 Deep, and later on we added a subset of YSL.
Okay. And when you said you're talking about Lil D from 30 Deep, is that what you meant, the gang 30 Deep?
Yes.
All right. And is 30 Deep a gang that operated in the Mechanicsville area of Atlanta?
It is.
When Quindarius Zachary first mentioned If Gang,
Mhm.
did you know what he was talking about?
I did.
Okay. And how was it that you knew what he was talking about?
I was familiar with If Gang, Inglewood family, as well as the recent beef between the two groups.
The recent what now?
Beef between Inglewood family and YSL/30 Deep.
And when you say beef, what do you mean?
Conflict.
Okay.
I would also argue for the defense that she's already testified to this. Way back in February or March. It's the same testimony, just that now accompanied with the interview with Mr. Zachary. And thank you to Nana Misty for being a member for 6 whole months. Thank you so much for your continued support.
When Quindarius Zachary talked about Perry Homes, where is that located?
Northwest Atlanta, near Johnson Road, Marietta Boulevard area, Perry Boulevard.
Does that still exist?
Perry Homes?
Yes.
No, it's some apartments, but it's not the actual Perry Homes projects that it was.
And do you remember the address that Perry Homes, generally what street was on Perry Homes?
I believe it's Drew Drive, Johnson, an area of Johnson Road, Marietta Boulevard. I believe it's 1903.
1903 Drew Drive?
I believe so, something like that.
All right. And when Quindarius Zachary talked about, that's when they went and shot up Perry Homes, who did you understand him to be talking about having shot up Perry Homes?
The 4 people that he had just referenced?
Okay, Moontunk,
Shannon, Tay, Lil D.
Now, at the time, you know or understand Shannon to be any particular person?
Yes.
Who did you understand Shannon to be?
A member of 30
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Hearsay, confrontation clause, also ultimate issue, invading the province.
Overruled.
You may answer.
A member of 30 Deep, and also we added a subset of YSL to his profile as well.
And Shannon, did he have a last?
Isn't that convenient that you just add things on because... And here's the thing. Again, where's her reports? Where are your reports, Miss Gathier? Where are your damn reports? You can sit up there and just spew complete garbage because somehow you're trustworthy, even though you have 0 reports to back up that this was your actual opinion back then.
Last name? Did you know his last name at the time you were listening to Quindarius Zachary?
Yes.
And what is his last name?
Previously, we knew him as Shannon Stillwell, and a few years later, it was Shannon Jackson. So,
but that's the same person, Shannon
person.
Stillwell.
Yes.
Before Quindarius Zachary mentioned Shannon, Tay, D, and Monkton shooting up Drew Drive, did you tell him that that's what you wanted to talk to him about, Drew Drive, before you went into the room? Did you say anything about, I want to know Shannon's involvement?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell any member of his family, I want to know Shannon's involvement in the shooting on Drew Drive?
No.
Okay. Before you spoke with Quindarius Zachary in that room and he said, I kind of figure Moontunk was there though, did you tell him you wanted him to tell you about Moontunk's involvement in the shooting at Drew Drive?
No, I told him I wanted to know what his involvement was.
Okay. And when he said or spoke about people not having a car, when you asked him, why do you figure Moontunk was there? did you understand him to mean who it was that he was saying had no car?
Yes.
Who?
Shannon and Little D.
Okay. Why did you ask Mr. Zachary about his loyalty to Moontoon? Do you recall asking him how close he was to Moontoon?
Yes.
All right. And when he told you that his dad and Moontoon grew up together, and you asked about his loyalty, did he ever express anything different than, I have some for him, but he ain't got none for me?
I believe he did say that.
Okay. What made you ask him, had he talked to Moontoon since he had been in jail?
I knew Moontunk was arrested as well, and I kind of wanted to know if they were just trying to get their stories together to match. And he said that he spoke to him.
Okay. Now, that's an interesting thing. When you said you wanted to know if they were trying to get their stories together to match.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to the jury what you mean by that and why that was interesting or of note to you.
I like to have independent recollections of incidents, so I don't necessarily like if defendants talk and again try to get their stories to match to see what I know to sound more believable. So he didn't really go into detail if they spoke in depth or anything. He just said he spoke to him since he had been in jail.
At some point, did you speak with Antonio Sledge?
I did.
All right. And was whatever Antonio Sledge told you an exact match to what Quindarius Zachary told you?
No.
Okay. And when Quindarius Zachary told you that about his conversation with Moontoon, and that Demikion having said he was scared and you tricked him, did you also talk to Demikion?
I did.
And is that Demikion Garlington?
It is.
Were Demikion Garlington's words an exact match to what Quindarius Zachary shared with you in the interview?
Confrontation clause, violation, hearsay.
Overruled.
Were they an exact?
You may. This might be a good time for our morning break anyway, so why don't y'all go ahead and have a restroom break.
Okay. I hope that the defense can bring up that there are some weird
rules. Still need to approach. Okay.
And while we are waiting for the jury to get out and the witness to get out, hit the like and hit the subscribe. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. As you might have noticed, I do not have midstream ads because for me it breaks the flow. And in return, all I ask of you is to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. And thank you, Lul Miss, for 5 gifted memberships. It went to Abudujo, T42, Dog Mama, Ronan Warheit, on the Homebody 3K. Thank you so much, Little Miss. And now you all have access to my members-only content, my members-only emojis, and to my Discord. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That brings us to 15 new members today. Thank you.
Suppose it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes if we break as well, so.
What do you want to do?
Okay. Can y'all avert the cameras?
If you're wondering about the big red stripe right here, it is because Law and Seaward has this really, really annoying stripe rolling stripe. And I want my
Thank
own.
you.
I wish I could, so I could have my rolling in that area, but I don't know how to do that.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
And to everyone. Your Honor, Demekian Garlington is accused in our indictment and he's severed. There's some wonderful parts of his interrogation by Detective Gathier and Detective Dennis. And I can't go into it because he's not being called as a witness. He's not being given immunity. For the state now to say, does Mrs. Zachary's statement, and I believe the words, exactly match Mr. Garlington's interrogation? I'm objecting because I have no way of cross-examining that. I don't have Mr. Garlington here, and I'm not, this is like a backdoor way of shielding me and Mr. Adams from cross-examining Mr. Garlington, yet getting out some broad overview, exact, whatever exact means. And I'm objecting to it under Confrontation Clause and hearsay.
Okay, well, I understand the objection. I do not expect there to be any further, any kind of questioning that would try to get out what Mr. Garlington's interview does say.
What do you mean further? There should be none.
Correct. Okay. I mean, with that, I don't think that asking was it an exact match and getting an answer to that violates either of those things. So I'm
yes, they do.
overruling that objection.
Can we have a continuing, if you don't mind, objection?
You may, although I don't expect there to be any other questioning on that topic. All right. If anybody, I'm going to take a quick break if anybody else needs to do that now.
Yeah. But now it's out there that there is an exact match with somebody else's testimony who will not testify in this trial because he's severed and has no immunity deal, as Mr. Steele said. And now it's out there. Let's hit that. And they are still on break. Okay. I need to visit Big Boy's room and hopefully I can be done at the time of... No, I won't, but I will play this anyway.
Female prosecutor, loves voice so whiny. Judge Page can't take it, not all shiny. Running to the bathroom, desperate dash. Number one, number two, oh what a clash. Bathroom break blues got the courtroom reeling. All the wine and love got that judge in blue. Sweat rolling down, making a shake. Can't take that voice for heaven's sake. Bathroom break blues all down the hall. Whining those voice got no control at all. Judge Page in a panic, running wild. Our Billy rhythms ain't no style.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching our coverage of the Young Thug trial. Now I want to take a quick second and I want to tell you about this stream's awesome sponsor, Upside. So what's Upside? Upside is a free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas and groceries. So when I go to pump my gas, I can use the Upside app and get cash back. Real cash back. It's money that appears in your Upside app that you can transfer straight into your bank account. So once you have the Upside app, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. You pay as usual using a debit or credit card. You follow the steps on the app and you get paid. And as you saw me just do, you can use Upside at places like Shell, Exxon, Mobil, 7-Eleven, Taco Bell. That's just to name a few, by the way. There are so many more. So to find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside or scan the QR code on screen and use our promo code LCLIVE.
Sorry, folks. I had no idea they would show commercials. Sorry, folks. Oh. Sorry, folks. I had no idea. I need to check if there is. The reason I choose Law and C Word is because they have closed captions. Let me check if, oh, please. The infamous Sylvia does not have closed captions. Maybe 11 Alive has closed caption. I will check.
Just wanted to
Hang
make
on, I
sure.
don't know if everybody or all the. Okay. Thanks. Go ahead.
Before we get started, I wanted to
11 Alive doesn't stream this. They have a hearing on the Georgia State Election Board lawsuit. So, yeah. Let's see here. Fox 5 Atlanta. Oh! Yeah. Fox 5 Atlanta. I have no idea. They might have commercials as well. I have no idea.
yes, why? As a Yankee.
477, yes.
Okay, let's go back a bit so we hear all of this. Okay, then I can have a normal banner again because they don't have that annoying piece of garbage banner.
Just wanted to
Hang
make
on, I
sure.
don't know if everybody or all the. Okay. Thanks. Go ahead.
Before we get started, I wanted to just make sure that 477 Yankee and 482 Yankee had already been admitted.
Would have been with which witness, do you know?
Mr. Zachary,
477. You said 477 and 482?
yes, why? As a Yankee.
477, yes. Yes, both of them.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
You ready for the jury?
Yes.
Okay.
Why doesn't my volume master work? Okay.
And allow the witness to answer.
Let's see.
And Your Honor, is it okay if I ask the last question and allow the witness to answer?
Yeah, I don't think we got an answer, so
Is sound better now? I used a booster. Oh, for frick's sake.
What is,
Is that me? I'm gonna, hold on. Let me see something. I can go to notifications and read that.
me see the next page. The next page. Page because I'm doing it by this also. That's just the next.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you. Sergeant Gathier, before we broke, I think I asked you if what Demekion Garlington told you was an exact match to what Mr. Zachary told you.
No.
At some point, did you all speak with Kenneth Copeland during the course of this investigation into these shootings in 2015?
Yes.
And did you speak with him multiple times?
Yes.
Was what Kenneth Copeland told you in either of the interviews during either of the times that you talked to him ever an exact match to what Mr. Zachary shared with you on August 5th, 2015?
No.
Vague, exact match.
Overruled.
So then, object, Your Honor. The jurors heard the statements of Mr. Copeland. They can make that decision, not this witness.
That's ultimately true.
Outside of any interviews that were captured on video during any interactions with Kenneth Copeland, did he ever give you an exact match of what Mr. Zachary shared with you on August 5th?
I don't have any reports or other.
Is there a foundation for that question?
I can make a foundation. When you took Kenneth Copeland, or when Kenneth Copeland was brought over after he was arrested at the Dunbar Center, was he interviewed?
Yes.
And
that is so leading. That is so unbelievably leading. That is not laying foundation. That is just, please lie for me, Ms. Gather. Please lie. We know you do that anyways, so please lie. If there are no reports to back this up, that never happened. Yes, little missus, I can fabricate a foundation. Just give me a minute. This is so bad.
did you help transport him?
No.
Okay. Are you aware of any statements by Kenneth Copeland that are an exact match to anything?
Same objection.
Yeah, okay, so are there any statements by Kenneth Copeland that aren't reduced to writing or on video?
By you? Were there any interviews or statements?
That you know of by anybody having to do with this set of circumstances?
Not by myself or investigator Dennis, no man.
Do you know of any from anybody else?
I don't know.
Okay. Then move on to the next question.
And when you
It's already out. Strike it.
told Mr. Zachary, Demekion sat in that exact same chair. Was that after you had interviewed Mr. Garlington? In other words, okay. And did you ever try to trick anybody?
No.
I'm going to continue playing, Your Honor, at 2:27:48.
Okay. She can tell me what happened. Or I told her she can tell me what happened right up front. And then that one, I called Mook to him. And Mook told me that He was outside. Say, they ain't want me to ride with. They wanted me to ride, but they didn't want me to ride.
What you mean?
Like, they wanted me to go with him, but I ain't have to do nothing.
So where were you sitting?
I was sitting in the back seat.
Well, how was y'all sitting?
Huh?
Let's break that down.
Shannon's in the front, D right here. I'm on this side, I'm to drive.
Whoa, let's break it down.
So Moon's driving, Shannon front passenger, you sitting behind Shannon?
Yeah.
And Demikion behind Moonton?
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly did they say they was gonna do? Like, why were they picking you up?
Oh, now you to the
Say that passenger, seating charge one more time. Monsoon driver, Shannon front passenger.
me. Indeed.
And then
The other D.
the Mickey.
Yeah. We went to meditate on. They was in different car.
What kind of car? You said the orange is that?
Yeah, burgundy. They one of them cars.
Orange one. Who car is that?
The boy turned on.
Is that his real name or is that like a fake name? Just Trey Duncan?
I didn't know him because.
What gang he in? Or who he affiliated with?
I don't. They supposed to be blood, but like no, just like regular games. I don't know what they supposed to be blood.
So, who all was in the car when they came to pick you up?
When Moonton came pick me up, Moonton, Shannon, and D.
Okay, Moonton Shannon D was in the car and came pick you up. Where'd y'all go?
We went to Perry home. When that lad went to the house on MLK. Shannon D and Tay got me and Moonton stayed in.
Shannon D and Tay got out the car and did what?
They went and shot at the house.
What kind of gun did Shannon have?
Shannon had a Draco, something too.
Where is that gun at now?
I don't know.
Whose gun is that?
I don't know. They already had the gun.
What color is it?
Like a chocolate.
Like a chocolate?
Like 18.
I said, what color is it? Brown. What kind of gun is it?
They had some 62 too, AK. It looked like a deer gun, but it looked like a what? It looked like a big old deer gun, but it was an AK, you say?
What about Demikion?
He had a Moonton gun.
Which was what?
That gun I got caught with.
And you didn't shoot?
No.
But don't you own, you went and bought like 3, 4 firearms?
Yeah. Who tricked me out of those?
They tricked you out of all of them, man.
Yes, he did.
We gonna get to that though.
Right.
So, did Trey Don shoot any guns?
Nah, he was driving.
So he was driving, so the driver basically stayed in the car.
Yeah.
And you stayed in the car.
Yeah.
How far did they get up to the house?
I don't know, man. Moonton called way back. Like, they got up close to the house, though. I think like front driver. I don't know if they got me up to the door. I know they got me driving. I seen that much. And they shot that house. And then that way we went to Perry home.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
How do you guys know what apartment was at Perry Homes and who? Tay know what Philo girl, because that's Philo girl house, right?
That used to hit Bay Mall.
Very well. So Tay knows them from the west side, basically.
Yeah.
Y'all don't really have
home together.
Right.
They beefed before too, though. Like, they said the mama knew that Tay shot at the house.
But how is it that, because Tay's not slime, how is it that Tay even rolling with Shannon and y'all like that?
Tay from Capitol Home. Me and Moonton all of Capitol Home.
He originally from Capitol Home.
Yeah, and he sang Big Boo. No Big Boo. He
Quite
sang Boo. Yeah. We sang Boo. That was met Tay.
Okay, so he just cool with y'all from there.
And then, now we had went somewhere before we went to Perry home.
What about?
Someone get some bullets, huh?
From where?
Somebody spot that D had on Cleveland.
Like somebody, like house or what's the spot?
A spot?
I mean, you gotta talk to me layman's terms. I don't know.
A truck spot.
What kind of bullets did y'all get?
They ain't getting nothing for the chop. They got some. They got some. They ain't getting nothing the 223. They got some for the Sunset too.
Who has the 223? Tay?
This is the one that Demiki and I had. Mom's not going, that shooting about 2 to 3 rounds. So is that Mom's gun that had the double drum on it? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the one that you shoot?
So the gun that you got caught with on May 7th, that's Monsoon gun.
Stupid.
Be real.
Need my gun to go for girl that night.
He needed your gun.
It was small. That little gun y'all just got. That ain't just what the house you got. It's a little bit gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 40, what is it, the 40?
40 Smith & Wesson. So he needed my gun to go for girl out.
So that's your 40?
Yeah.
Cause we just got him last week, ain't had a chance to run yet.
Wow. First, he becomes a member and then he gifts memberships. Thank you, Steve Keat. You gifted to Jana Porter, 2 souls for you, Tabitha McCutcheon, Frosty New York, and Crystal Glore. Thank you, Steve. And now you all have access to members-only content, to your own emojis here on YouTube, and to the Discord once I get the new link up. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much. And that brings us to 21 new members today. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But I had just bought this gun like a day or two before I got locked up.
You know.
From our Boulevard, one of apartment, 493 Boulevard.
No, I said I had bought.
Yeah, I know. From Arrowhead. How do I know?
Yeah, I got a receipt.
I got something better for you.
Sergeant Gathier, at this point, at 2:34:22 in this interview, can you tell the jury what is being shown to Quindarius Zachary on Detective Dennis's phone?
Surveillance video from Arrowhead pawn shop of him purchasing firearm.
How did y'all get that? How did you all?
Drove down there and got it.
Okay. What was it that led you all to drive down to Arrowhead and get that surveillance footage?
Lurimis asks, is 21 the daily record? No, I had a day with over 200. It was an amazing Friday panel show stream. No, it was my 10K celebration, and it just poured in. And I am eternally grateful for that. Now we have to maintain that. But yeah, besides that one, I think the daily record was at 60 something in one day alone. And that, I believe, was my birthday stream, which is understandable. But for a normal trial day, yeah, it's probably around 20-25, somewhere around there.
We had receipts from where he purchased the firearms, and we ran his name. We had his name run through the federal system to see what all firearms he purchased and the locations, and that's how we were able to narrow
Thank
it
you,
down.
Sarah. Then. Thank you.
Pawn shop in Jonesboro.
When you talk about the federal registry or list or whatever that is, could you explain what that is that you are looking at to get his name? What is it?
The federal government basically has a database that keeps track of persons that purchase firearms. During this investigation, we worked hand in hand with the ATF, and we utilized them and assist them with checking names through their federal system.
Does that list or system on the federal government include firearms that are purchased illegally on the street?
No, it's just firearms that are purchased from gun shops, gun shows, or pawn shops.
When you said that you had receipts of guns that Quindarius Zachary had purchased,
Thank you to Little Miss. First, becoming a member and they gifted a membership to Sherry Ferber. Thank you so much. That gets us the daily number to 23 new members. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
where did you get those receipts from?
From his apartment when we executed a search warrant.
Are those receipts in your report, Miss Gathier? Is that in your report? Oh yeah, the report is missing, but amazingly, folks, amazingly, the prosecution finds evidence that should have been in the report just laying around so they can present it. So I don't know if this one will be presented. All we have is this line sack of shit's testimony about it.
And that was after his arrest in May?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember any other items that you were able to recover off the top of your head?
I believe we recovered a firearm, a couple of cell phones. That's all I can remember at this moment.
Now, when Quindarius Zachary mentioned the little 40 that he had just gotten 2 days before he got locked up, did you all, and you said we still have to run that. What did you mean?
We recovered a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson, which is almost the size of the palm of your hand, from his apartment. We hadn't had an opportunity to have the ATF test fire the gun and see if it came back to any other shootings or stuff like that.
And why is it that you all were asking Mr. Zachary where each person that he said was in the car that Monkton was driving, where each person was seated? Why was that of any importance?
It's
Overruled.
just to get a better understanding of each person's position in the vehicle, and based on where we recovered evidence from the shooting, just kind of wanted to make it a determination.
And when Mr. Zachary is showing or motioning to Detective Dennis on the paper that Detective Dennis has in front of him where each person is sitting, is he motioning in a manner consistent with what he had just verbally said to you all?
Yes.
When you asked Mr. Zachary about Tay knowing where Philo stay, who is the Philo you were talking about?
Philip Collins.
And Philo's girl, who is that you were talking about? Do you remember a name, Kenyatta Troutman?
Yes, Kenyatta Troutman.
And was that who you were talking about?
His child's mother, yes.
And where was it that she lived?
1903 Drew Drive, Perry Holmes area.
Now, Philip Collins, do you know did he have a brother?
Yes.
And was Philip Collins documented in any of your files?
Yes.
How was Philip Collins documented?
He was a member of Haiti Gang.
Haiti Gang? What about his brother? What was his brother's name?
Confrontation clause and hearsay, I have no doubt.
Y'all approach. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Sidebar. That brings us to sidebar counter 279. Yeah, and as per always for Miss Gather, where are the reports? Where are the files? Where is it? All right, they're still not back. Yeah. I mean, I cannot for the life of me understand why Judge allows this. Why? Why? And Gather is so clear. She has to have these leading questions towards her to just have yes or no. And I know once we get to cross-examination, they will bury her again. But it's infuriating to see a former law enforcement officer so blatant to lie. Yeah, I don't know how many times and in how many ways I can tell you the same thing. Detective Gather, or Sergeant or whatever's, is a moron. Complete moron. She is, based on what we found out during the Daubert hearing and cross-examination of her, she's lazy, she doesn't like to work, and somehow she finds employment. I don't know why. She now works with a sports team.
And Sergeant Gather, as I was asking before you stepped out, Philip Collins, you said that he has a brother?
Yes.
And what is his brother's name?
Darren Mills.
Is Darren Mills, to your knowledge, older or younger than Philip Collins?
He's younger.
Do you know about how many years younger?
Roughly 5.
Okay. Does Darren Mills have a nickname?
Yes.
And what is his nickname?
D.
Now, is D a member of any gang?
Yes.
What gang is D a member of?
You may.
You may answer. What gang is D a member of?
Haiti Gang, as well as the subset Inglewood family.
Is that if gang when you say
If gang.
Inglewood?
I'm sorry.
Is Philip Collins also?
It seems like everybody that is encountering Gather is a member of 2 or more gangs. Seriously? Seriously?
Inglewood family or if gang?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Philo and Dee's mother's name or address?
1428 Adele Avenue is the address. I believe her name may be Denise.
Is Cecilia Davis the mother?
Yeah.
Is Denise?
This is so leading. Why is this allowed? This is stupid. Judge Whitaker, you know this is stupid. Make it stop.
Denise Bell, the sister of Cecilia Davis?
Yes.
All right. Are you familiar with whether Philo and Dee have a sister?
Yes.
Do you know what her name is?
She's the twin sister of Darren. I believe her name is Diamond.
Diamond?
Diamond.
And what is Darren's last name?
Mills.
All right. And do they have a sister, Stacey Adams?
correct, yes.
Did Stacy Adams live at 1428 Adele as well, to your knowledge?
I don't recall.
Okay. When you asked about Tay knowing Philo and Philo's child's mother from the west side, what did you mean?
They both were from the west side of Atlanta. Mr. Zachary stated Tay was originally from Capitol Homes, but he grew up on the west side as well. The same as Darren and Philo. So there's only a couple of high schools, a couple of middle schools in that particular area. So
Where is Capitol Homes located with relation to the west side?
Capitol Homes is more or less downtown, Memorial Drive area. The west side is considered Bankhead Highway, Hollywood Road, parts of Martin Luther King, Cascade.
And did you prior to Quindarius Zachary telling you that he and Moncton were from Capitol Homes and that is where Tay was from, were you aware of those facts before you went into the interview?
No.
Sustained.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to revisit that at a break or another time. Now, when Quindarius Zachary said that Tay used to hang with Big Boo, and you mentioned the name Quentin Porter, would you tell the jury how you're familiar with, just briefly, Quentin Porter or the name Big Boo?
I'm familiar with Quentin Porter, AKA Big Boo, from Cleveland Avenue area. He was a known gang member of Raised on Cleveland Rock Crew. Worked several investigations involving him. So I was familiar with the name.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to resume at 2:34:22. Actually, before I do, let me ask you this.
Yeah, ask her why she is a college dropout and then took odd jobs, and then in Atlanta she barely functioned in police academy, got a job as a police, then mucked around for a few years doing nothing, and eventually ended up in the gang unit. Is that a question you're going to ask her? I don't think so.
When Quindarius Zachary referred to a spot and then told you a trap spot on Cleveland, would you tell the jury what a trap spot is?
Trap spot is a location where drugs are normally sold or illicit activity is conducted.
And based on the investigations that you have conducted as a detective in the gang unit and during your time with the Atlanta Police Department, is a trap spot ordinarily a place where guns and ammunition are also stored?
It is.
And at the time that Quindarius Zachary told you about a trap spot on Cleveland, at that moment, did you know what trap spot on Cleveland he was talking about?
Not at that exact moment, but I had an idea.
And was the idea that you had confirmed at any time?
No.
Okay.
picking up at 2:34:22.
Was you? Yeah, I think that's you. We did all of that. So, after we got the bullet, went Perry home. Okay. Then don't even got out and shot the house. Who got out and shot this time? Tay, D, and Shannon. Tay, D, and Shannon again. Okay. And they had the same gun that they had before? From there? Nah, it was another one calling this time. From Tatum. What's his name? I think his name Lee. Lee? Yeah. Did he get out? Yeah. Yeah, handgun. You remember what kind? I can remember. Two handguns. What call Lee was that? He didn't call Tatum. That's Tatum's friend. Lee. They went and got him out the door. Okay. Make that up.
Pausing at 2:35:28. Sergeant, at the time you spoke with Mr. Zachary on August 5th, 2015, did you know either Tay, D, Shannon, or Montun to be wearing dreads during that time?
No, they weren't.
Okay. And
which completely contradicts witnesses at the time saying they had dreads. And apparently none of these had dreads.
and when
So now the prosecution is trying to unmake what they claimed. I kind of agree with Judge Whitaker. They are making shit up as they go along, because if something is completely bad, they just change the narrative of this entire trial.
Mr. Zachary told you about a person named Lee, did you know of a Lee associated with them, with YSL? That did have dreads at the time.
I knew of a Lee that was associated with Tay and Traydon from MDC.
Okay. Now, what Lee was that you knew of?
Ali Caldwell, Caldwell.
And when you say dreads, are you able to describe the type of dreads that Ali Caldwell had?
Yes, he had not necessarily like dreads like mine, but they were more or less like big planks. If any of you guys are familiar with the rapper Jay-Z, the larger plank style box, that was his hairstyle at the time.
I assume she has been properly coached before entering.
Thank you.
So she actually knows this.
Continuing at 2:35:28.
After the Perry home got shot up. After Perry home got shot up, shoot. We went in the house. Where they dropped me? I went in the house. 405 on Cleveland Avenue. But they met me we met some at the gas station. Which gas station? On Silver Road. And I called him in the house. Which one on Silver? The Chevron. Like right by 166? Yeah. I feel right there. So someone met you right there, picked you up, and then she drove you to the house? We let my cousin drop her off at the house. Okay. I'm gonna let her keep on coming because she scared to go to the house. Okay. So tell me about this line stuff. Hey, she's like, shrine. Well, why do y'all call yourselves slime? Number one. I'm not no shrine. Why do they call themselves slime? Because we stealing this stuff. So it's like you being slimy or brownie about shit. Like, say me and you cool, right? And you got a girl or something. And you leave out and I talk to your girl. Try to talk. So you really like slimy, it's good.
So there's no rules, like, it's like, I slammed that nigga.
Yeah.
Like, so even if we cool, I can rob, you can rob me, and it's like, just slam.
Yeah.
So basically, no rules, no laws. But you say you ain't slam?
I ain't like, they would never let me get out.
Why?
Cause my brother, he don't really want me to hang around.
But you do.
I know. He be mad. Who is your brother? And I ain't tell you. He be mad. I want the dread. Yeah, how you know? Come on, bro. Hey, he mad that I hang around eating and wood. But he's fine though, ain't he? Yeah, he's fine. So I'm saying, what does it matter? If he wants little brother and then I'm sick. So if like something happened to me, he'll feel bad because we kind of got down. How did 30 Deep and Cleveland Avenue link up for a long time? Anybody fuck with them? Y'all didn't fuck with each other. Those start fucking with Wood. So that just kind of brought everybody together. How close are you on Wood? Or how close were you? Only reason we got close because I don't hang with much for hang with the. And then another one, Woody, what you call it? We started there. So your Woody people, meaning Demekion and Shannon, everybody just kind of started linking up. Yeah. Y'all ain't never had no problem, nothing with each other? No. We ain't never had no problem with Canada. Well, they ain't never had no problem with Canada. I ain't never got into it nobody from Canada. Ain't nobody.
Fun size ask, why doesn't any of the defense object to leading questions? Well, they have had a number of objections already. And they do also, I believe, have continuous objections. But also, they are gathering information for cross-examination. Last time she was on the stand, during cross, was so obnoxious. And it was clear to anybody watching, she made shit up as she went along. And I assume that is what happens now, once we get to cross-examination.
I never got into it nobody from Canada. It just linked up like that. So how did it get to a point where, you really didn't have too much, really? What, now, No, go ahead. What, the beef started, that's what you're saying? Yeah. Killed him, shot up, Gavin House, the dugout. Right. And then, the dumb on Woody had caught him with the skating ring or something. And then he was like, but they had shot through a window out. On which car? The SS. Right. And Thug like, nah, I ain't cool no nigga till they take my window. But why they shoot up the dugout down there? Woody and Kerry had some person going on, I guess, big as bad. Who got more girl, more money. Both on, and that one has money. They collecting somebody else's shit. Yeah. So, you know how it is. Kill one, like Thug coming crucial, getting up money, throwing stuff. Kill don't want him to do that. Right. Yeah. But Thug he ain't clicking them, he ain't like them. Right. He ain't like Kill shot in window. So just over there in windshield, never kind of find it together, huh? I mean, I don't know, I wasn't there. Oh, y'all didn't do it? Y'all didn't know? No. I'm saying I wasn't physically there.
We know about it, but how many times they shoot at?
Like 200.
So they were just done.
Yeah. But they knew y'all was in there? Yeah, people posting pictures on Instagram, videos on Instagram. I turned it off. People posting videos on Instagram and stuff. And shoot, everybody couldn't go. Thug like dope hurt. So everybody walking to their car. I stayed there, I'm still gambling. I ain't have no gun anyway, so ain't no sense me walking out there. Then you just hear gunshot stuff going off. They tell you in the woods across the street or something. Then everybody ran out the door. Everybody who was in those guns ran out the door stuff. Right. So they thought they were gonna get some money. So when this windshield got shot out, he confronted Kale about it? Like, no. He didn't know. They didn't know the turf. They thought MDC did. And then when I got shot, who shot you? I don't know. Okay. It's just shooting at the club. Okay. They thought MDC did, but come find out MDC didn't do it. Kill had told Thug, baby mama, who dread that he had did it. And she messing with Moonton. She told Moonton and went.
Wait, Thug baby mama was messing with Moonton?
No, Thug baby mama told my sister. Okay. My sister was messing with Moonton.
Okay. Who tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it went from there.
So, I'm just trying to follow you. So y'all in the dugout, they shoot up a bunch of rounds. Y'all come outside. They standing outside.
I ain't no gun.
Well, they went outside. They are. Everybody still out there?
I don't know.
I mean, how do you know that it was Kalen that did it?
I just told her I didn't know. Cause I told her they thought it was MDC, somebody else. Kale ran his mouth to scoot your head trying to play. And then that was
that's when he got back.
Yeah, she told my sister told Moonton.
And Moonton told Thug that it was Kevin.
Moonton told Woody and Thug, yeah.
Okay. So this incident with chain and phone getting stolen out the car.
That was way before.
I don't know. When did this happen with the dugout? That was in January, right?
Yeah. Dugout got shut up in December.
In December.
Yeah.
So from that point, it was really on, like, y'all just didn't fuck with each other. Meaning,
Yeah.
YSL and
They ain't even mess with each other. They ain't remember each other.
Pausing, Your Honor, at 2:42:14. And we will advance to 2:40.
Am I being raided? I didn't see it. But if I am, thank you.
43:13. Sergeant, while we are advancing, I want to ask you a couple of questions. Did you know during your interview with Mr. Zachary in August 2015, that before he told you, did you know that he was sick, as he called it?
Yes.
All right. And was that with an autoimmune issue?
Yes.
Okay. What?
Yes, little miss. It seems like Detective Gathier got a promotion somehow by just being in the gang unit and ruining cases. I don't care. I say former Detective Gathier, and she can sue me if she wants to.
Was there anything about that illness that at all appeared to affect his understanding or ability to communicate with you during the August 5th interview?
No.
When you heard Mr. Zachary say that he had never had a problem with Mechanicsville, did you have any particular understanding, or what was it that you understood him to mean? The area, the physical location, Mechanicsville, or something else?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevant speculation.
Overruled.
I understood it to mean 30 deep. 30 deep operates in Mechanicsville.
And based on your background and your expertise as a gang expert, Woody, Shannon, and Demikion, did they have any affiliation with 30 deep?
Yes.
Were they all each 30 deep?
The three you just named? Yes.
When you heard Mr. Zachary talking about Kel, who did you understand him to mean?
Kelvin Watts.
Is Kelvin Watson a gang?
Yes.
What gang?
Bird Gang as well as Inglewood Family.
If gang.
If Gang.
Okay. As you heard Mr. Zachary talk about the dugout, were you familiar with that location?
Yes,
And is that also the gambling house?
it is.
Where is that location?
Around Lakewood Avenue, McDonough Street, not the city, but.
All right. And is that an area that you knew of any particular gang to hang out?
Trying to remember what you're supposed to say, Miss
Southeast
Gathier.
Atlanta, I mean, it's kind of no man's land.
Okay.
It's really close to the area for If Gang, but it's not necessarily within that territory.
And before Mr. Zachary told you about the dugout getting shot, did you know about that incident?
From previous interviews, yes.
All right. We're going to pick up with the interview.
I ain't go to the club like that. You ain't go to Crucial like that. But you hung out with him, like, on the block. I might hang out with on the block. But what I said, so I ain't talking about Kevin. Oh, yeah, I used to hang with him. Like, I might go push one Monday, then not go next Monday if I know it's gonna be something. Right.
So since you got shot, was it November, right?
Yeah.
How many times a day you went to Crucial since then?
About 10. I know not.
November to January, because it closed one night.
Oh, no, not till November, January, probably like, we had went out of town. Probably like 5 times. Like 5 times? 5, 4, something like that.
So when did you and Monson, so once he finds out from the girl that Kel did that, then what happened?
He tell Woody.
And then what?
Then Woody like, oh, alright. And then that when they shot at Kel. Y'all heard about that? MLK? Yeah. Woody Monson shot at Kel. And it went from there.
When did y'all make
And then that one, make what? I heard no video you talking about.
What video I'm talking about?
Monson mad about you.
When did y'all make that?
Let me see. Monson mad about you.
When did y'all make that?
It was after I got shot up.
So sometime in December.
January. Sometime in January. Yeah, at least. Yeah. So, fast forward from December to January. So we're in January now. How and why was Nut killed? If Nut, because you ain't really mentioned nothing about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not involved with in word made don't do that. Made who do that? People killed. Shannon. Yeah. And ain't Nut. Lambo. Big Nose Nard who in jail right now? Yeah. And Doo-Wop. And then Doo-Wop. What Doo-Wop look like? I don't know. He on your IG. That's a little Doo-Wop. Doo-Wop. Look at him. Yeah. How do you know this? I know. Because they told me. Who told you? Shannon told me. Yeah, told me. Why did they tell you? Who was it? The house talking about it. Which house? The house.
This interview is in 2015, and I believe Zachary was 15 at the time. I'm not sure, but he is a few years younger than the rest of them.
The new one or the old? His condo down there? Yeah. What exactly did they say? A lot of folks can go down and hang murder, man. Like, it's a big old, a lot of folks had something to do with it.
Explain how, from start to finish, break it down how it happened.
Yeah, one little girl. My name Bush. They saw nut.
They saw nut where?
At the bar shop. They would be hanging at the bar shop in Tiscon. They saw nut. And D was in the car, but D got another car.
Which car were they in when they saw him?
The Infiniti G35.
What color was it?
It was, I forgot what color it was, but the old manager had rented it.
Amina? Yeah.
I forgot what color it was, but man,
Was it a newer model car?
Yeah, man, Wood was in the late on that night. We had went to a little kickback.
Okay.
I thought we had wrecked it. Well, we did. We spent around the expressway.
Yeah, I was drunk.
At the bottom of it. No, we was just flying. It was like me and him. We just flying, trying to see what it was doing.
You remember where they rented the car from?
No, I don't know what she rented from.
So Amina, you definitely know Amina the one that rented the car. So Amina rented the car for Thug.
Yeah.
Who did Thug give it to?
Who he let drive?
Yeah, who he let drive?
No, yeah. And Shannon and Dua. They put me to meet yeah, girl.
Bullshit. Where were they supposed to meet Bullshit at?
I don't know they pulled me if I know they pulled Miller.
That's what I'm saying. How did they end up over there by the sex school? Did they go looking for him?
They probably left the studio. I went there when they after my little niece had a party and then Mooksoon called Mooksoon didn't even know. Mooksoon somebody just killed Nut. And he's I'm gonna meet Woody at the Gavin house. And then Woody was scared. Cause they chased him and all that.
So did Woody have anything to do with Nut being killed? So when they drove past the barbershop, were they specifically going for Nut or were they going to somebody else?
They want to meet the girl.
But when they saw Nut, were they saying we're gonna get Nut or was it somebody else?
We're gonna get Nut.
Wow.
Pausing at 2:48:20. Advancing to 2:48:33.
It seems like the rest of the direct examination will be like this. So I will be going to until they break for lunch, and then I will do the rest as recap later today. I have some stuff I need to do, but I would assume that lunch is half an hour, 45 minutes away, just so you know.
That was marked as 503 Yankee. Who was depicted in that photograph that you were asking Quindarius Zachary to identify?
Demise McMullen, AKA Nard.
Nard?
Nard.
Okay. And when he told you, when Quindarius Zachary told you the people who were in the car and was describing Donovan Thomas's murder, who did you understand him to mean when he said Nard?
Demise McMullen.
Is that the same Demise McMullen that you looked at in conjunction with Kelvin Treadwell for the Dexter Montgomery shooting?
Yes, I arrested him for that shooting.
At 2:48:33.
How did it, what I think she's trying to ask, how did it get to a point of, you never said none of this?
Cause they say it's power. They like the green light all white and 30 feet. They say Nut said whoop or something like this. I mean, it's a go. And then
So Power was at the gang meeting.
Yeah.
So
You saying if gang had a power line?
That house that they spot on MLK.
Okay, and they said that YSL and 30D got a green light, which basically means you kill them if you see them, like, they fool.
Yeah.
So, why did he put that out there? Do you know why he said that?
I don't know, cause they had never shot it. They had never shot it nut before. Like, when you know attention, like when they killed nut, everybody like, why the hell they do that to nut?
Right.
There was no attention at nothing, man.
So, do you remember the exact words that Shannon told you as far as what happened?
Yeah. Like we said, caught the nigga nut down bad.
You said we caught the nigga nut down bad?
Yeah.
I understand.
I like who? Like me, yeah. Nud, Doo-Wop. I'm like, I'm telling you what kind of gun they had.
Which gun?
They had AK-762, right?
He said, you gonna tell me what kind of guns they had for the murder, right? So the AK-76, whose gun was that?
That was Nud gun.
What else?
That a 4.5. I don't know what other kind.
Whose gun was the 4.5?
Shannon.
You remember what brand it was?
XD or something.
XD?
Yeah.
You know what that gun is now, or what these guns are now?
I know. Let me finish the story.
Okay.
They caught Nut down bad. They took the guns in the car to OG Bentley. You know Bentley.
Calvin Trevor.
They gave him guns in the car.
What did he do with it?
He hid the guns and they took them in the car back.
Do you know where he hid the guns at?
I don't know he hid the guns. I know they took to his spot on Cleveland.
You know where at on Cleveland?
His spot? Yeah, I don't know the address. It's on Oak though.
On Oak Drive?
Yeah.
So this is all what Shannon is telling you.
That was this was both Shannon and Gat told, but this Shannon what Shannon told me first.
So Shannon told you
they both told me the same story though.
Where were you guys when Shannon was telling you this, and what day was it? Same day or day after?
Same night. Shannon I was walking through. I had just walked me in Moose where I just pulled up at Thug house. And Shannon finna go to a girl house. And all the bullets were going out the gun. Like, he like, we ain't got no gun. They see Moose on the gun.
Right.
Moose had a little handgun. They see Moose on the gun and go to the store. Moose say, wait, I ain't got no bullets. And that was Shannon. And Shannon started talking. Moose still didn't know. He didn't know that night.
Right. He didn't know that night that Nut had got killed.
Nah, he knew that Nut had killed, but he didn't know that they did. They're like, Moose don't talk too much.
That's what I heard too.
And then that was Shannon was telling me the story. Say they were going to meet Bush, but they looked up and seen Nut. Say they had rolled back around. And then started shooting them. Shannon had nothing to do.
So was Kale out there?
No, I don't think Kale.
Kale went out there in front of the bar shop.
Well, he wasn't the target.
I don't think he was out there. But they just like, we seen Nut.
Right, because Nut made the call for all the youngsters. Because Nut had some rank, right? You know what Nut rank was?
What?
I'm asking you, do you know what his rank was in F?
Nah, it's probably OG or something.
Yeah, OG. So, because he made the call and green lighted YSL 30D, he tell the other ones what to do, so they was the ones going to be coming after y'all, so it makes sense to take him out instead of
they said.
a whole
like, they ain't never shot at me. Like, every game.
They ain't never shot at you?
They shot at me one time, but I don't know if that was them for sure.
Where we were?
At Harlem on Empire. Y'all heard about that? Y'all didn't know they had something to do with retaliation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you saying that was them? Because we had it in.
Yeah, it had to be them. Well, I ain't know at the time until they got on Twitter, started tweeting.
Who was tweeting?
D was tweeting, Stu was tweeting.
What were they saying?
Like, we shoot at them, they make a police report. Something like that. Yeah, they say we shoot at them, they make a police report. But they shoot at us, won't say that.
So, what did Nard tell you, if anything different than what Shannon said, like any exact words?
No, I didn't tell them that.
I mean, not Nard,
Yeah, just like, Those was going out of town. We had left one out of town.
Where'd he go?
He went to Florida.
Okay. That night?
Yeah, we both went the next day, like that morning. Well, we did see that morning.
Who all went down to Florida?
Me, Shannon, D. Woody, and yet another had left before.
You said,
They shut the spring back for us.
so you, Shannon D, Nard, and Woody.
Yeah.
So y'all went down there on the Sprinter bus. Thug flew down
Hey,
there?
me, Shannon, yeah, Woody.
Okay, yeah. I got you, Zachary. Approach last.
Both you and the meet there I went to her.
Yeah.
So this was the next day after the murder?
Yeah.
Did you hear Nard say anything about it?
Nah. I ain't even gonna say that about like it came out when another time said something about we got back from Miami.
About how long after the murder? Like how long were y'all in Miami?
Me, Shannon D, and Nud, and yet we just stayed down there 2 days ago. We want to come back. They were bored. They just down there Birdman house. Wood was down there scared. Cause they were shooting up out here house.
Right.
He was down there scared. He didn't leave on the sofa.
Right.
And then no Nud, like nigga Wood won't fold. Like what you mean? How you gonna tell him?
Stopping at 2:55:13.
Yeah, what we just saw is people, I mean, this allegedly, people who have taken immunity deals and plea deals are the ones testifying about, oh no, it wasn't us, it was them. Then why did you take the plea deal? Why did you admit to your crimes? And yeah, for you who are completely new here, for the rest of you, you already heard this. I don't like plea deals, but because it makes every argument and every incentive for people to lie. Same with prison snitches. If you heard or saw anything, we will get your sentence lighter. Oh hell yeah, I saw and heard stuff. Imagine being on the hook for life in prison, and then a prosecutor shows up and says, hey, did he tell you anything? There might be a lighter sentence in it for you. Oh hell yeah, he told me everything. It's so stupid.
I want to talk a little bit about what you covered with Mr. Zachary in the clip that the jury just heard. Now, when you're talking to Mr. Zachary about Donovan Thomas's murder, had you been assigned by the lead detective to get any information on that murder?
No.
And were you at any time working under Detective Thorpe while you were investigating the back and forth shootings between YSL and If Gang in 2015? And
You said under?
Right, were you working in the homicide unit underneath him?
No.
Did you work with him in some instances? For instance, in this interview, did he come in and listen?
Yes, he did.
But did you take direction from him? And were you consulted by him before he took out warrants on this murder?
No, I wasn't taking direction or consulting. We would share information just because we knew our shootings were direct, relation to his homicide. So if we could gain information for him as well as our own, we would definitely share that.
And yet everybody walked.
The Kelvin Treadwell, when you
both of you are absolute horse shit at being cops. Both you and Thorpe and Dennis, morally corrupt shit cops. And probably if they had better cops in the Atlanta unit, there might be less crime. But since most just listening to the cops in this trial are shit. Complete horse shit. There are a few exceptions in this trial, maybe 2 or 3, but the rest, absolute horse shit.
Asked Quindarius Zachary, did he mean Kelvin Treadwell? Is that the same one that was on scene during the preceding the Dexter Montgomery shooting? OG
Yes.
Bentley?
Yes.
And when Mr. Zachary spoke about taking when he talked about If Gang having a spot on MLK, were you familiar with what that spot was?
Yes.
Where was that spot on MLK?
1428 Adele Avenue.
Now, when Mr. Zachary talked about a green light, can you explain to the jury what that means was?
Yes, in gang terms, a green light is basically giving permission to lower ranking members of that particular gang, that whoever's green lighted, you're giving permission for them to harm them or kill them.
Okay. And when Mr. Zachary told you about OG Bentley's spot on Cleveland off Oak Drive that the guns were taken to, were you familiar with OG Bentley's spot off Cleveland on Oak Drive?
I was familiar with the spot.
And was that a place that you would describe as a trap house?
Yes.
Before,
Overruled.
now, before you spoke with Mr. Zachary, and Mr. Zachary told you that, was it that Woody had shot Cal?
Yes, I believe that's what he said.
Did Woody tell you he had shot Cal?
Of course not.
And when you all were asking Mr. Zachary,
I repeat, Miss Gathier has to be led by Prosecutor Love so hard that she probably has a choker with it. If you look real closely, you can see the chain. Did you? Yank. Oh, yes, I did. Did you? Yank. Oh, yes, I did.
about the timeline from November to January. Why were you all interested in what was happening from November up until January 10th?
We kind of wanted a starting point to figure out why was everything occurring. If we could locate prior incidents leading up to it, whether it was shootings, damage to properties, collecting evidence, to see if we can just link the cases together.
Okay. The January 6th incident, were you all familiar with that before you spoke with Mr. Zachary? Were you familiar with
Yes.
anything happening on January 6th?
Yes.
And what were you familiar with?
There was a shooting, I believe it was damage to property at Club Crucial. A bunch of vehicles were damaged. I don't believe anyone got shot. I believe Demikian was assaulted
Inside Club
inside the
Crucial?
club and proceeded to shootings
And
after.
were you aware of Yak and Duke getting arrested on that same day?
Yes.
driving away from Club Crucial.
Correct.
The evidence, okay.
And after yesterday's outbreak of spine in Judge Whitaker, we are back to normal.
Your Honor, the court had asked us if there was a particular spot that would make it better to break and then continue, but we can
Okay.
go on. I think that this is
this one?
this is one.
Okay, all right, and we're close to the noon hour, so we'll go ahead and break for our lunch. And let's shoot to be back at 1:15.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see if they have anything to say. Before they are actually breaking.
All right, do you want to just have Mr. Atkins here at 1:15?
Oh, he was headed down, but we'll tell him 1:15.
Okay, well, unless he walks in before we break. We'll see you at 1:15. One quick question, Mr. Steele, I appreciate you sending the order, and with regard to that, was there a ruling made on the record after y'all argued those in August, or just this written order?
There was oral argument, and then case law cited, the Harris case was cited, and then the court had the asked me to prepare the order.
Okay, so
That's
he
my
just
memory.
said granted, or took it under advisement and later
No.
said granted?
No, it was granted on the spot
Okay.
and then wanted it reduced to writing.
Okay, all right. Well, I may take a look at that part of the transcript to see if it actually answers the issue, because at the bench, my understanding is that you had said this required the gang experts to reduce things to writing and in a report. And it doesn't actually say that in this order. It could be read to mean that, but
Yeah, but Miss Whitaker, this is at this. Yeah.
I'm just going to go back and look.
That's fine.
Unless what was the state's understanding?
My understanding was that it was not, that was not a requirement. Mr. Steele specifically asked for that, and the court specifically said that he wasn't going to require that they do that. His understanding of the law was that that was not a requirement.
If it
And we can always assume Ms. Love is lying.
exists, produce it, but if it
Right.
doesn't, you don't have to. I mean,
Right.
that's my understanding of the law too, but he could have ordered something else. So if the records, the transcript seems to reveal that, then I'll require that. But otherwise, I don't read the order to say that.
Well, okay, and whatever the transcript says, I stand by the
Okay.
Harris case.
Yeah, I read it.
And it says you make it better for cross-examination, you put things in writing, you get this.
Well, what was ordered in the
Question.
Harris case, though, was the notes that existed. So anyway, I'll take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's fine.
where
Thank
are
you.
the notes in this
Y'all back
case,
at, 1:15.
Josh Whitaker? Where are the notes? If there are no notes, then it should be thrown out. All right, they are breaking for lunch, and I have stuff to do. I will come back later with recap of the afternoon. And if it stays like this, it might be a very short one. But you never know. You never know. Maybe Judge Whitaker grows her spine back out. So, folks, that was the morning of day 139. I will be sending you off to Catnot Williams. And so everybody say hi to her from me. And I will see you roughly at 5:30, something like that, p.m. Eastern Time. And again, as I always say, thank you. Thank you, folks, for allowing me to do this. Thank you for the gifted memberships today, 23 of them. And thank you for the super chat. And remember, I don't have ads, midstream ads. So that is my gift to you. And your gift to me back, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I'll see you later. And hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. See you later. Bye-bye.
Detective Gathier, where'd you go? Lost your trail, don't you know? Your report's gone like the wind. Mystery, we can't resist. Gathier, where you at? Hidden clues like a magician's hat. More elusive than Waldo's code. Catching shadows on the road. In the files, no trace found. Like whispers lost in a crowd. Paper trails gone to fade. In the dark.